Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun Diary, Nayibi number one.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun Diary, Nayibi number one.
Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Maiyegun Diary, Nayibi number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun Diary, Nayibi number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí.
Maiyegun Diary, Nayibi number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun Diary, Nayibi number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí.
Maiyegun Diary, Nayibi number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun Diary, Nayibi number one.
Maiyegun Diary, Diary Politico.
Maiyegun Diary, Nayibi number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun Diary, Nayibi number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Maiyegun Diary, Nayibi number one.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun Diary, Nayibi number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Okay, off your mind, it's okay. She off your mind, all of us in sound like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don come. Him go touchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh.
Hello there.
Don't come, oh,
Don't come.
make we shout, oh, Maiyegun don.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun live.
Maiyegun don come, oh,
This one not the off in mind.
Maiyegun don come, oh,
I twisted it tonight.
Free corner.
Kindly share this broadcast because tonight is the People's Parliament. For those of you who just recently joined us, the People's Parliament is when all of you watching me right now can also be part of this presentation, which means you can come on and share your own view You can be Tinubu supporter, you can be articulated, Mugu or what have you. It doesn't really matter. You have a chance to tell us what we don't know, your view on the recent happenings in Nigeria. However, before we get to that stage, what I do first is to get you in the mood, get everybody into this whole thing fully, that you begin to feel like, no, I want to be part of this. Now, if you now decide that you want to be part of this, all you have to do, check the comments. You will see the links, okay? Use the link to join the studio, and you can be part of this too. But until then, right, you share the broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. Tell them, Maiyegun today.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀, làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará yìí.
I'm going to get back to all of us in about 2 minutes. But just so you know, the drama, the war in Niger Republic is already underway. What you haven't heard is the boos. I have a clip of the preparation, getting ready. Now you go to ask later, is it about Niger? And also Littlefinger is about to eat back. I also have that tonight, among others. Don't go anywhere. But the one that is currently trending, I mean, before that of El-Rufai, is this speech that declared war on Niger Republic. Don't go anywhere yet. We're about to start.
Extraordinary summit of the Ecowas Authority of Heads of State and Government on the political situation in Niger, 10th August 2023, final communique. The Authority of Heads of State and Government of the Economic Community of West African States convened in an extraordinary session in Abuja, Nigeria on 10th August 2023 under the chairmanship of His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Chair of the Ecowas Authority. The extraordinary summit was convened as a sequel to the recent one held on 30 July 2023, following the illegal detention of President Mohamed Bazoum by the members of the Presidential Guard in the Republic of Niger on 26 July 2023. Present at the summit were the following heads of state and duly mandated representatives: His Excellency Patrice Talon, President of the Republic of Benin; His Excellency Alassane Ouattara, President of the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire; His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana; His Excellency Umaru Sissoko Mbalo, President of the Republic of Guinea-Bissau; His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of the Republic of Nigeria; His Excellency Macky Sall, President of the Republic of Senegal; His Excellency Julius Maada Bio, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone; His Excellency For Nyasimbe, President of the Togolese Republic; His Excellency Mamadou Tangara, Minister of Foreign Affairs, representing His Excellency the President of the Gambia; His Excellency Ambassador D. Maxwell Saa Kemaya, Minister of Foreign Affairs, representing His Excellency the Head of State, the President of Liberia; His Excellency Belarmino Silva, Ambassador of Cape Verde, representing His Excellency the President of Cabo Verde. The summit was also attended by Evariste Nyasmia, President of the Republic of Burundi; His Excellency Mohamed Ould Ghazouani, President of the Islamic Republic of Mauritania. Omar Ali Toure, President of the Commission. His Excellency Leonardo Santos Simao, Special Representative of the United Nations Secretary General for West Africa and the Sahel and Head of UNOWAS. His Excellency Ambassador Bankole Adeoye, Commissioner for Peace and Security, representing the Chairperson of the African Union Commission. The authority, having considered the memorandum presented by the President of the Ecowas Commission on the current situation in the Republic of Niger, as well as ECOWAS engagement since the last extraordinary summit, and having considered the reports of the envoys of the chair to Niger and various other places, carefully considered the report and recommendations of the ECOWAS Committee of Chiefs of Defense Staff, extensively discussed the latest development in Niger since the last extraordinary summit held on 30th July 2023, noted that all diplomatic efforts made by ECOWAS in resolving the crisis have been defiantly repelled by the military leadership of the Republic of Niger, taking note of the expiration of the one-week ultimatum given for the restoration of constitutional order in the Republic of Niger, decide as follows. A, reiterates its strong condemnation of the attempted coup d'etat and the continued illegal detention of President Mohamed Bazoum, his family, and members of his government. B, further condemns the condition in which President Bazoum is being detained and hold the CNSP fully and solely responsible for the safety, security, and physical integrity of President Bazoum, members of his family, and government. C, uphold all measures and principles agreed upon by the extraordinary summit held on Niger on 30th July 2023. Underscore the determination of the ECOWAS authority to keep all options on the table for the peaceful resolution of the crisis. Enforce all measures, in particular border closures and strict travel bans and assets freeze, on all persons or groups of individuals whose actions hinder all peaceful efforts aimed at ensuring the smooth and complete restoration of constitutional order. Warn member states who, by their action directly or indirectly, hindered the peaceful resolution of the crisis in Niger, about the consequences for their action before the community. Call on the African Union to endorse all the decisions taken by the ECOWAS authority on the situation in Niger. Further call on all partner countries and institutions, including the United Nations, to support ECOWAS in its effort to ensure a quick restoration of constitutional order in conformity with its normative instruments. Direct the President of the Commission to monitor the implementation of the sanctions. Direct the Committee of the Chief of Defense Staff to activate the ECOWAS standby force with all its elements immediately. Order the deployment of the ECOWAS standby force to restore constitutional order in the Republic of Niger. Underscore its continued commitment to the restoration of constitutional order through peaceful means. Express appreciation to His Excellency General Abdulsalami Abubakar, His Eminence Muhammadu Saad Abubakar, the Sultan of Sokoto, Ambassador Baba Kingibe, for the special envoy missions undertaken in Niger, Libya, and Algeria on behalf of the Chair of Authority. Express gratitude to His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Chair of the ECOWAS Authority, for convening the extraordinary
Thank you, far too kind. If you have now joined us, you are welcome to the People's Parliament on MaiyegunsDiary Politico. But let me kind of wet the ground for you before you begin to open that link. Remember, to be part of this conversation tonight, it's not by phone calls. You would have to use that link in the comment section there. You open that, it's going to take you straight into this studio. And you can come and share your view too, as important as they are to you. But let's start with this. There is already ongoing war preparation in Niger. I think I can show you this video quickly.
Yara assalamu alaikum. Manya durun waku. Ni da nauki kasawa. Ni ku tambari a bani mai da keni. Ni ji kuma laliyar mutanen fada. Ni kura ji a kaura baban shawo. Akai a kawo sai gafiya. Ni shan kiyo sai tunku. Dogon zango sai cimola. A daba anuka sai kalwa. Amma dankali sai juji. Ina mai jirbe gidan mutanen custom. Babban gandu sai gayya. Kan daki sai an taru. Yaro baya daukan yaro. Wallahi sai da rungume ni rungume.
You may not understand the language per se, but when you look at the optics, you will know. So those are the Nigerian Ecowas soldiers getting ready, moving from Sokoto straight to Niger Republic any moment from now. And according to one of the ECOWAS head of states, Ouattara, the one from Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire, said, people are trying to make this look like it's Nigeria versus Niger. No, it's not Nigeria versus Niger. It is ECOWAS versus Niger, according to him.
To leave now, but there's a position most head of states who have intervened have endorsed. So I want to insist, this is not a Nigerian affair. It's an affair of ECOWAS. And you know, Niger is part of the Monetary Union of West Africa, of which I have a chair. And this concerns Cote d'Ivoire on that account. So ECOWAS is even bigger. ECOWAS is nearly 400 million people, 240 million in Nigeria, 140 million in the West African Monetary Union. So this is 400 million people. If we don't have democracy, do you think that our countries will be able to move ahead? This coup d'etat is not acceptable. We should put an end to it. And I hope it will be unanimously that we'll put this to an end. Thank you.
It is smoke Igbo. It is take Indian. It is smoke Igbo.
Hang on, this audio delay, I'm so sorry, right? If that keeps happening, all right? But somehow, I think I actually know why that is, which is probably just the laptop, you know, the device streaming it. Anyway, they said it is not Nigeria versus Niger. It is ECOWAS versus Niger. Now that is kind of brewing already. So, and you start hearing the boom, 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 boom any moment from now. Like I said yesterday, except some powerful country just wield their stick and say, yeah, let's prevent all of this and pursue peace. Because the junta in Niger, they themselves have seen the preparation. And a lot of you will be wondering, Shana, for Niger Republic be all of this? Anyway, those one have also said, if a single soldier from this ECOWAS step their foot on Niger soil, they will execute the president they are coming to rescue. The president they want to put back in power. Now, they have made that threat open. They said they will execute him, execute his family, and then wherever this whole thing leads to, everybody will have to wait for the end go. And it's like threats from ECOWAS, threat from Niger. Now, AU, African Union, said, fine, they approved the military action in Niger Republic to remove the junta. So which means all the light seems to be getting greener and greener and greener for them. And the invasion of Niger Republic is due and mostly inevitable. So maybe they are just going to wait for United Nations too, because they call them. So today, ECOWAS now sent another message. And this message is to Russia. They said any human rights violation by the Wagner group on this issue of Niger, that Russia will be responsible. And I think you have the idea, because what happened now is that the whole game is going to end up as Russia versus the West, as usual. Sure, it will come back to that, even though it's always been that, right? But it's going to come back to that, where it's going to be like, oh, the killings in Niger, the destruction going on, they were not done by ECOWAS. They are not done by French. They are not done by all these guys, but they are done by Russia. So you should get yourselves ready for that propaganda too. Anyway, ECOWAS just sent that warning that any human rights violation in Niger Republic, Russia will be held responsible for it. It's already brewing. Just prepare your mind, and probably I'll hear your own view on that too at some point. Yeah, it is inevitable, except maybe if America just say, hey, hold up. So a lot of Northerners are kind of pissed because somehow to them, and this is quite strange, okay? A section of Northern Nigeria, especially the APC, Egbekegbe supporters, majority of them feels like it is the right thing to do, that they should remove, they should remove the junta and put back the democracy, something like that. And including, like, they shall support the invasion. But other part of Northern Nigeria, Northerners are like, when they are now comparing, considering the risk, the, what do you call it, the disadvantage of what the whole thing is going to lead to when it becomes full-blown war. Those ones are now feeling like, no, that fall. We did not, excuse me. So I think, I'm sorry, kind of messing up with my connection, okay? Sorry about that. It keeps popping back. I'll find means. I don't know why. And I think it might actually be the network, yeah? I'm so sorry. And it's going to get busier now, by the way. By the time we start getting everybody on, it's going to get busier. So a part of the North are kind of publicly saying, go for it. Somebody like El-Rufai's son, the Kaduna Little Finger, or the Little Vile Man. They have so many names for him, right? Kaduna Little Finger's son believes that with all of the resources at Nigeria's disposal, Niger Republic will crash or will crumble in 11 hours. That the highest, that they will go there and come back like the old journey to and fro. 11 hours. This whole thing will be over. That's El-Rufai's son. And all of the human, casualties and the rest of that people are kind of, collateral damage as B. Is that what they call it? Economic ruin and the losses and all that. Lives, refugees, and all those things that are related to when this kind of gets out of hand. They don't care. They've committed massacre, genocide in southern Kaduna to the point that they brag about it openly. His father, El-Rufai, the son. I mean, is it not shocking that somehow the reason why they rejected El-Rufai from being confirmed as minister, they said, look at all these offenses. So they said that El-Rufai, the reason why he can't be a minister are unguided statements. Okay, this guy supervised the never seen before genocide in a single state perpetrated by the people in power. All right, and he came out to say, well, they are only trying to politicize the killings. And in fact, it's because some people are making money from reporting the killings. That is why the killings have not stopped. He is also the guy who went all over Africa or West Africa, asking the Fulanis to come back to Nigeria. If they lost anything when they were chased out of Nigeria, that they should come back. Government will pay them. This guy paid money to terrorists that later terrorizing the southern Kaduna, and to make them feel like he's so powerful. At a point, he came out and he said, the Muslims will rule the states for another 50 years, and there is nothing the Christians can do about it. It's like official. He decided to take his on his second term. He picked up a Muslim ticket. So Muslim ticket. He tested it in Kaduna, rigged it, did all he could, and he got back in. And when he came back in, he sold the idea of Muslim to Tinubu. Unfortunately, those unguided statements are now being used by APC. You know, he said horrible things about Tinubu as well. Sure, you get. Until now, that he now changed them at the last minute. Human rights abuses. This guy picked up is the first set of criminal governors in Nigeria that are picking people up because of what they said about him on social media. Do you get that? So if you write anything about El-Rufai, you can go missing. That Diata, one young man who lives in Kaduna, Kwakwanso supporter, the guy went missing for the past 4 or 5 years now or so. No traces, no nothing. How did that happen? Some men approached him when he was actually entering his own house. At the gate of his own compound, they stopped him and they pretended to be DSS. That was the last. You know, the old scenario of him being arrested prompted his family members to come out, his wife, his little kids. They came out and he was like, he's been arrested by DSS. That was the last they saw of him. And it was because of what how he's been criticizing El-Rufai. At a point, one of El-Rufai's sons actually bragged on the same Twitter, on social media, that those who are he actually made similar threats against people who were criticizing or saying things about his father. On Twitter, he said, a lot of you should go and ask that Yatta what happened. Continue to what? To blow your mouth. And that was when people were like, where is government in this place, right? Those who didn't go missing, they languished in different cells, prisons across Nigeria because of this guy, right? To the point that, I don't know how terrified the people of Kaduna are of him and the El-Rufai's family, right? This same guy orchestrated the killing of one paramount ruler of Adara Kingdom in that same southern Kaduna. This same El-Rufai, areas where Fulani terrorists have killed, ransacked, and chased people away. Those people are living in refugee camps across the north central part of Nigeria, by the way. The same El-Rufai has been renaming some of these villages and appointing emir for them. All of this being gazetted by Kaduna state government, this same jihadist terrorist. So people are not just calling him a terrorist. He's somebody. And while he's doing all of this, El-Rufai is a great philanthropist, number one propagandist. El-Rufai is one of those who are sponsoring, funding some of these big institutions across the world, like in America, here in the UK. You go here, Oxford University, El-Rufai fellow, Oxford University. When you go and check it, you see how much of Kaduna or Nigeria's money is ferried to give to Oxford University. They will say, El-Rufai, Oxford University. El-Rufai, Cambridge University. Speech on democratic norm, safety, security, and democracy, human rights and democracy, and kiniko. So he uses this, right, to make it look like, you are not talking about, he is the devil in the real human skin. Like, no joke. This is not even like somebody trying to spoil somebody. El-Rufai is the real devil. That people were so scared that if this one get closer to power, you go hear when. And that's exactly what he said in a video that is now trending. There is a video of El-Rufai just today, where he said he never wanted to be minister. I never wanted to be minister. Tinubu begged me 10 times to come and be minister. But he knows that Tinubu still hold grudges against him. You know all these things they said about him, right? When they said, are you going to be the vice presidential candidate to Tinubu? He said, I will never be a running mate to a drug baron. That's what he said. He went to Lagos and he said, during the Ambode time, he said, I can teach them how to defeat godfathers. Come to Kaduna, I defeated all godfathers. I chased them away. I am the godfather now. So if Lagos want to get out of the bondage of godfatherism, they should come, I'll teach them. So the sudden change at the last minute of even supporting Tinubu came as a rude shock to so many, because they knew it was one of those who were determined that this Tinubu shouldn't get power. I mean, shouldn't taste power. So now El-Rufai is now saying that he was never interested in being a minister, which kind of true. But the mad guy went for screening, and he said because Tinubu owed grudge against him, that is why they didn't clear him. So he's no longer interested in being a minister. The best he can do is to give Tinubu somebody to be his minister. He's no longer interested in that. And some people are already saying, very good. So by the time they are going to make up their mind on Tinubu, by the time this same El-Rufai is going to use what he knows how to do best, knock and jam their ears here and there together. And the same Tinubu is already like, it can't be like saying that the worry Tinubu right now is already launched, or is already declared war on northern Nigeria. Now they are working on something they can, like, what do you call that one though? Just like trying to save the face, make it look like he didn't do it, but it has to be done. So these guys, this El-Rufai and gang, he has already seen it. There were people who were saying that Tinubu appointing El-Rufai was just out of fulfilling all righteousness. That the point is either never to get him cleared. And if he was cleared, if he's ever cleared, to just put him somewhere that it's just like putting him somewhere that when they put somewhere to fail, it will be obvious that it's either you are going to resign and say, I'm not interested again, or you're just going to be there and you're going to be the poster boy of a loud mouth but a complete empty barrel, like kind of thing, right? And I think El-Rufai knew about this, or he got to know about them late. So they say he's no longer interested. So they're like, okay, we'll see how that goes, right? So I want your views on that. But before I share that, right, let me take you back to the reactions of some of them in northern Nigeria, or reactions, to Tinubu's declared war, just before we open the studio for the parliamentarians.
But the basic issue is one has to be extremely careful with these sit-tight leaders. Because obviously the coup is not only the idea of military taking over government. A coup is actually where people extend their limit beyond what constitutionally is being provided for. That one is also a coup. When you rig yourself into an election, it's also a coup. So basically the problem with these leaders is I am right, everybody else is wrong. because one has to look seriously into the kind of thing that this guy is saying. And my fears are that we shouldn't allow these people to take us into another proxy war. Proxy war in the sense is that in Niger, the Wagner, the missionary groups of Russia are already there. And these people who are from the East is because Niger, Mali, and others are saying they are tired with the domination of French in the running affairs of their own country, so they want to be really independent. They have been telling us that you are more independent than us because our own independence is only a name. Our currency is being printed somewhere, and then the central bank of another country is the one that takes care of our own money. You go back, you take loan from your own money, and you pay interest. There are so many things that are going on wrong. And I can't see people like Ouattara have the moral right to start telling people that this issue is not Nigeria and Niger. As far back as the 18th century when the Sultanate was established, there has been a very good cordial relationship between the two countries. And a number of Nigerian leaders happens to belong to the two countries. Nigeria recognized in dual citizenship. There are a number of Nigerian leaders that are partly here and partly there. So I can't see anybody who is telling us that if there is going to be a war, even if we are not around neighbors, with Niger, one will say it is not a war between us. It is actually a war between us because there are a number of Nigerians that are going to be affected as a result of that war. So I can see a contradiction in the release itself because I believe the leadership, who happens to be our own leader, seems to be focusing more on diplomacy based on the missionaries that he has sent around. The former president was there together with the Sultan of Sokoto. Nobody seems to know what has actually happened. And you see, you cannot really negotiate with the threat. The first thing that's made it very difficult for people to start thinking about this negotiation was the fact that you took a decision, cut off light, close the borders and what have you. You have a negotiation, you cannot negotiate with somebody on the basis of a threat. You should first negotiate. It is only when the negotiation fails that you think about what happened again. So I believe basically there is a lot of contradiction in the release itself. Two, I'm sure we should not allow this country to go into a proxy war between the West and Russia, because at the end of the day, if you look at what is happening in Ukraine, if you look at what is happening in Sudan, and in quite a lot of places you see around Libya that has virtually finished, you can see basically is this idea of pushing people to do certain biddings. And they use some of these sit-tight leaders to sell their own ideas around. And if you look at the background of Ouattara and what you see, virtually you find out that even when he was talking, you can know exactly he was not trying to report to people that this is what has happened. It was the decision or the ideas of a Ivorian government that has been sold to the Economic Community of West Africa.
Kind of, right? Say, sorry, bro. The ship has already sailed. Okay? I don't think any opinion really matters anymore. Abi, remember that video I shared with you earlier? Because this is the state of things right now. The ship has sailed.
Yara, assalamu alaikum. Manya turun waku. Ni da nau'i kasawa. Ni ku tambari a bani mai da keni. Ni ji kuma laliyar mutanen fada. Ni kura ajiya kaura baban shawo. Akai a kawo sai gafiya. Ni shan kiyo sai tunku. Dogon zango sai cimola. A daba anuka sai kalwa. Amma dankali sai juji. Ina mai dirbe gidan mutanen custom. Babban gandu sai gayya. Kan daki sai an taru. Yaro baya daukan yaro. Wallahi sai da rungume ni rungume.
I hear something like it's something like you say in Yoruba that Afa Jono, you they ask for is Yoruba. Yoruba is your beard. Let's say Afa born. And you're asking that what about his beard? That's exactly I kind of hear that. Oh, by the time this whole thing, this whole fire finish, Aba that means now when you see Afa, you go see him beard though. But as we know, now at the beginning, now they see. And I was actually seeing like, is it just me? Hang on. The video said Nigeria getting ready. Ecowas getting ready. But is it just me that saw something like just Niger flags on those troop carriers or those trucks? Is it just me, or that's the combination of all the Ecowas and all of them, like having those flag? I'll show you again, just quickly. I just observed that.
Yara, assalamu alaikum. Manya turun waku. Ni da nau'i kasawa. Ni ku tambari a bani ma da keni. Ni ji kuma laliyar mutanen fada. Ni kura ji a kaura baban shawo. Akai a kawo sai gafiya. Ni shan kiyo sai tunku. Dogon zango sai cimola. A daba anuka sai kalwa. Amma dankali sai juji. Ina mai jirbe gidan mutanen custom. Babban gandu sai gayya. Kan daki sai an taru.
Is it just me? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I will leave that to some of you to come up with your own views. And as for El-Rufai, before now, he actually did say he would rather not be a minister. But why did he accept it to then go for screening, got disgraced, then realizes that he never wanted to be minister? The little vile man. Prime, what do you call it? Premium Times media.
So this is your last term, obviously. What's next for you? Are you coming in as a minister or something?
I was minister 20 years ago. I was privileged to be the minister of FCT 20 years ago and Director General of BPE 4 years earlier than that. And I'm 63. Oh, I'll be 63 a week from today. And quite frankly, I think that Nigeria has such a pool of talented young people that can do whatever job that may be offered to me. And I have a pool of these young people, many that I have worked with, many that I have mentored over the years. And I have told Asiwaju several times there is hardly any assignment that you will offer me that I cannot get you a better, younger person. Of course, he doesn't agree with that. It's an ongoing discussion. But it's a moot point because the election is not yet won. My preference, by the grace of God, is, 107 or 8 days from now, we hand over and I take a break, complete my PhD. I've been pursuing a PhD in governance and public policy at the University of Maastricht in the Netherlands. In fact, I'm supposed to be in the university now. This is the research week, but I couldn't make it because of the situation of the country. I got security advisory that I have to be in Kaduna in case of protests and so on. So I had to write the university to cancel. So I hope I will spend the next one.
It would never, people like this would never get you to prove me wrong on anything. You know what they do? When they give money to all these universities abroad, then the next university will now call them and say, we are offering you professorship. We are offering you PhD. We are offering you masters in, and it's almost always public relation, political democracy, democracy, nonsense, all these things. So all of them, they are just to buy the international impression that, oh, look at this fine gentleman from Nigeria. I hear there is a former governor. So they put them on an alumni. So they give all these schools money. Not school fees, so money. You go, if you know how much Kaduna State under this criminal gave to Oxford University in the UK here. University that is making billions of pounds sterling on their own. They still collect from people like El-Rufai, and they call them alumni and all that. So yeah, because of the situation in the country, so I'm advised to stay. If not, I should have been in Netherlands doing my PhD. All of the nonsense, whatever they say they are doing, how did that even better the life of the Nigerians they are modeling up? It all power, because in this Hausa,
So goma.
So goma.
Ni bana neman aikin gwamnati.
Ni bana
son aiki da shi. Shi yake cewa yana so aiki da ni dole ni nake cewa bana son abin nan. Wallahi tallahi billahi na fi karfin wani a cewa shine ubangidana.
Allah. You know what he's saying there? That's El-Rufai. El-Rufai speaking to DW said, and quote, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the one pestering me to work with him for more than 10 times. But wallahi talahi, I am above being God's son to anyone. Somebody asked that, you are considered as Tinubu's God's son, as your godfather, do you think it's going to do something about this, your Senate rejecting you? And El-Rufai said, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the one pestering me to work for him. For more than 10 times, that he's been pestering him for more than 10 times. So wallahi talahi, I am nobody's godson. You know what I mean, Abi? That's the same El-Rufai. It's the meaning they go in Netherlands. He has submitted another name to be minister, by the way, to Kolu. So they will forward that one to Akpabiole when they get back. However, talking about what Kolu, I was somewhere and somebody was like, about this country, everything don't add, everything don't off. Petrol, fuel, okay, fuel is has tripled, Baba. Food prices, they have, tripled, quadrupled. House rent has doubled. School fees for children, children are going to resume school next month now, September. A lot of people are going to develop serious health issues, hypertension, sleepless nights, loss of appetite, loss of weight, loss of this and that, all because the school themselves are also going to increase the school fees of your children. And the moment they do that, you would have to cough that out. There is somebody, Olu Sholaru, African Wahala. Let me use spanner for that person. It is called spamming. When somebody start typing nonsense, right? And they are posting them like one after the other. It's called spamming. Get them out of that place. Yeah, thank you very much. Good job. Okay. However, we believe that the old shaggy thing, they are just kind of gaining momentum. You should build on your resistance, what do you call it, mechanism, because Oshi might get worse. Not because I wish it on you. Once they start their gas boozing in jail now, that is also going to affect your food, supply and all that, Abi. And farmers are not going back to farms because of insecurity. 21 people killed in Plateau State in the last 2 days. 4 people killed in Benue State just yesterday. People had to hit the streets. That they won't kill also women, young men and women on the street of Benue in that same Nigeria. I mean, a lot's going to happen. That is Benue. And that's just because of yesterday. Before then, they have also been burying their own loved ones killed by Fulani terrorists. They kind of like to call, they love to call them bandits. These are terrorists who take lives just like that. They get into a place, just sweep the entire place, kill those they can kill, burn whatever they can burn, and no arrest is made, no nothing, no investigation, no nothing. Everybody just have to move on. That is the life, or that was the life under Bokwari. It has now gotten to another graveyard silence stage that people are kind of not really alarmed anymore. And that is just around that. But economically, you know, I've said it before that those who usually say, can I see your gentle 2K? You know, usually when you give people 2,000 naira in Nigeria, somehow they still feel like at least it is something back then. Okay. So it's easier for people to just say, Baba, if you see 1K for your hand, like this guy, but it is so difficult. Even if you give anyone 20,000 right now, the value of it is probably just around 2,000. But who will give you 20,000 now? Which trick you go take collector in this Tifnumbu's Nigeria? Be honest, like this guy.
Hello, Philip.
What happened?
No vex. May I give you 1K tomorrow?
Why?
May I give you 1,000 tomorrow?
Why?
Fine. You get where me I dey want enter tomorrow morning. So normally, if I don't run the stuff, I succeed, I go give you 1K tomorrow.
You do giveaway?
No be giveaway. Now because I won't just ask you for 1,000 naira today, so I make
Now that, you know, it is tough, right? That is the reality outside social media. You know, this social media where everybody is fine. You know, on social media, everybody is fine. Abina, if I take my picture, I'm like, oh, okay, now take them from this side. I beg, take my phone, take my picture. No, go to where there is shadow. I mean, there is light. Take it. Then you figure everything out and you put it on social media and say, Maiyegun, fresh boy, fresher, and all of that. Everybody is fine on social media. You know that, Abi. But in reality, now all of us they try to also, Abi. Like, you know. Yes, now. But what I'm trying to say is that in reality, the way people are actually feeling this in Nigeria right now, if there was a change they promised you, this is the quickest change you have seen. Even those who are rich, who are like normally okay, not rich, but at least okay. You know when they say, we are just okay, we thank God though. Today, they are now considering between shame then take their own car out to run business or just run the business online on the phone. As much as possible, reduce contacts so that you can reduce the physical contact so that you can reduce the cost. Because at the end of the day, you end up having to use whatever profit you make from your business to buy petrol and the rest of it to buy the out-of-roof food stuff as well. Like, I'm just saying, like, people are considering cutting costs here and there in a way that it wasn't their own choosing, you know. You know, there is a time where you're going to be like, you know what? I want to cut down my expenses. And then you just go for it. And you begin to cut things down. This one, Tinubu economics has forced many of them to adjust. Now, you can't call them and say, hello, sir. I'm just, I don't know if I can see like 20,000 from you so that when I get paid next week, sir, I can get that back to you. Like, I will first ask you that about stop it, Jari. Which level? 20,000. 20,000. Look, baby. If I have 20,000, do you think I'm going to be in this house? No, like, that's the situation now. If you see anybody where they say, yeah, take. About you don't know what God do for you. That's the expression out there. You don't know what God they do for you. And there was a guy. I'm going to replay this video. For those who said, oh, we didn't vote for war. We didn't vote for this. Somebody told you that, well, if your situation was ever being taken serious by anybody to start with, your Nigeria wahala is enough for any serious president to tell them that, listen, I can send delegation to meet you on this Niger thing. There's serious problem in this country where I am right now. And if this is not even handled with care, Nigeria can even explode. That the rest of you will live in jail and you come and face whatever we are facing in Nigeria, like to handle that. Like somebody who is serious. So for those who once said that on the mandate, they were standing. You remember? Tinubu's mandate was the mandate that you were all standing on. You Lagos Abobakus, Buhari idiots, Buhari Dins, Buhari Didins in so some of you can no longer stand anymore. They say the mandate don't get K-leg. Some of you who are standing on the mandate don't get bow leg. Those of you who don't get bow leg, you don't go cripple. Others are just sitting there. And just 2 months, oh, it never reached 3 months. Oh. But when it go can reach 3 years, or 7 years, or at the end of the 8 years, as some of you are saying, that people will cry for another 8 years. So imagine just seeing Shege for 2 months and the mandate. People are actually sitting on the mandate right now. So anyway, so that is just to those of you who probably love to still keep pretending. The people who told you that you were too much in a hurry asking for change in December 2015. Those who told you that give Bokwari time in 2016, 2017, 2018. Then they said, no, he needs 8 years, 2019 to 2023. The same Olori Burukus as well. The Marshal Fani Ajiya Jess are also telling you that, is it not just 2 months? Give him time. For Tinubu, Baba, 16 years of your life. Bokwari don't waste the first 8 years. The Abobakus, the social media Bambi Alas, the Oshogbo Alimajiris that told you to give Bokwari time. They are saying now they are blaming you. Is it the Bokwari's fault that your life is like that? Now Bokwari be your father. Do you want government to give you this and that? These are fine barras on social media. You get. Anyway, they are now telling you now that you need to be patient. After 8 years, they will also say, Tinubu be your father. Is it Tinubu that say your life should not be better? Is it Tinubu that this and that? Baba, can't put 16 years together nítorí Ọlọ́run. Assuming you are just 20 years old, a little young man or woman starting life, and you can't you can't shagbako this Bokwari. In that 8 years of your life, they did what they have done. You know where you are today. Abi? Now, somebody is telling you that you have another 8 years to cry because of this Sokudaye, Tifnumbu, Ojo Pagogo. I'm talking about Jaga Bandits. Now, that's going to be 16 years. They can't say, you know, get angry. Or you did too para, you did too angry. You don't know, say you're supposed to be mad with anybody where they wish you that evil. Because we know how this always ends, right? The implosion of Nigeria is going to happen right before our very eyes. But I hope history will kind of remind all of us the role we play in making that happen, right? Before I bring in the parliamentarians, I want to replay this for you. The time they took Peter Obi to the Arewa house, and they were asking him, what was he going to do for the northern Nigeria? I have that replay, just for your own view or viewing.
And secondly, you were reported to have asked northerners to carry ID cards or tags of identification. This is a platform for you to talk about them and explain issues. Thank you. Sir, do you want to take all the questions or you want to answer all of them as they come?
Let me answer them as they come, so I will remember.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Vice Chairman. Co-chairman, sorry. Co-chairman, I apologize. Let me, the co-chairman has a very valid question. And that question is important. Co-chairman, let me tell you, they've asked me this question. You know, the first person to ask me this question was Dr. Dati. And I said to him, my brother Dati, go to Anambra State, go to the whole of Nigeria, spend your money, spend everything. If you see anybody who is carrying ID card and he said it's from the north while you live in Anambra State, or anybody who tell you this is here I treated people from other parts of Nigeria while I was governor, come, I will stop campaigning. I will withdraw and go home. Number two, it's important that I take all this. When I was coming in here, when I came in here now, somebody told me, he said, Peter, your brother, my brother, the governor of Kaduna State, said that he came to my state and I detained him. Let me tell you, it's good when you answer, when these things happen, you clarify them. Number one, in my 8 years of being governor, only in the first 3 months did I have a commission. 3 months. And that because I met the person. At the time the governor said this, it was during the election. The police commissioner then, the police was from Kano. Tell me, my powers, I was in Africa. Government was PDP and APC. Tell me how Africa person will issue order for somebody to be detained. Even me was detained in my local government. And I was working for. But however, all of us I committed is that when they asked me, I said, that's how they treat everybody, that I wouldn't be in Kaduna on day of election. That was the only thing. And it took there's no way. I cannot do that. Co-chairman, I never asked anybody to carry ID. As governor of Anambra State, I have the best ADC in Nigeria, the best policeman. My ADC, Mohammed, is from Kano. He's the best policeman till today that I've ever met. He's from Kano. Who will I give the order? Will governor go and give order on himself? So how will I tell Mohammed, who lives in my house every day and close to his family, I get up and say, Mohammed, I want to deal with your people. And he will say that. Call my ADC today, I'll give you his phone number. He's the best policeman, he's still a policeman, he's CSP now. And he will tell you. So when people there, Peter B is black. 2019, I was vice president. No, I was a good man. Now I want to be president, I become bad man. I did not do anything wrong. I want to change Nigeria. Land, yes. When I said I signed CFO, I didn't say I gave people land. Remember what I said? All those land that I signed are people who applied. I never one day said I gave A or B land. I bought land myself. I said, so I'm going to give you phone number of the leadership of Muslims in Anambra State. Ask them their relationship with Peter Obi. And they will tell you. If there's anything, I keep saying it. Unza rice in Kanu. I told Dati, and I told La. I said Unza rice he went to look for loan in 3 banks. They didn't give him. He came to us. I said we'll finance him. He's the biggest rice farmer. He's in Kanu. And I discuss with him every day on the way forward of farming.
Or should I say, yeah, that is the bullet that you dodged. Especially those of you who are like the bat idiots. That's the bullet you dodge, oh. Today, the RPG you jammed has already dragged you to war. It is just, those ones are just the physical war in Niger. The unphysical war, the one that is not physical that you are facing inside Nigeria, now body go tell everybody. All the body is already telling everyone, right? Anyway, there are those who still believe that I'll keep kind of mouthing that for you, okay? That you still strongly believe that the judiciary will have this all this kind of sorted for you. I hope that you are still keeping that your hope. I mean, I'm not talking about the renewed hope or renewed shege of Tinubu. Now, we are going to open studio soon, but I want to kind of open it via or after these guys who also are speaking in defense of the judiciary, like, you know, all those who are writing results, you think, oh, blah, 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 go happen, and all that stuff shine away, because it's all about eyes on judiciary. So if you want to join this conversation tonight, all you have to do, just check the comment. There is this pinned comment, that link, or you can even open the whole, the whole video, and you can see the description. There is a link there, and you can use that to join the studio, being part of the parliament. So whatever you want, whatever you are typing there, don't worry, you can go back and type later. Come and say them out there. The People's Parliament. A lot of people are going to join. Don't keep it too late, because most of the times a lot of people will join late, and then you will not be able to be part of it. It's just a 3-hour show. I've already spent the first hour, and I'm about to spend another 10-15 minutes from it before we begin to open the studio. So get yourselves ready, and don't use the same device. Don't use the same device you are watching this broadcast from, okay? To join, go and use another device. If you are watching this broadcast on your phone, then you can't use that phone to join the studio. You will need to leave the broadcast. If you are using your laptop, you will need to. And you also need to be in a place that is very quiet, where there is no distraction. Kids, children, and all that stuff. If you can avoid them, that would be great. Put on some cloth, all right? Don't lie down on your bed in a dark room and then trying to join us. You will never be allowed to join. Don't put on a singlet, you know, this half body, what have you, and then, no, you will not be allowed to join. And the moment you are joining us, please keep the mic kind of off. All right. So, like, you know, if there is no light, don't join us. Don't join us in the dark. All right. Yeah. And then keep your presentation simple so that other people can have chance too. Okay. And the moment I raise my hand, one more thing, by the way, when you join me, I want you to know something. We are joining ourselves from all over the world, right? Which means the networks are always never going to be the same. And everything is coming through to my system here before we now stream that out. So there could be lapses, okay? There could be some lapses there or overlapping voices. Sure, you get. On this People's Parliament, I usually want to have it to make it more conversational. You may say something that I would like you to kind of elaborate more. So to help to encourage you to elaborate more on that point, I may kind of interject, say something. Then that doesn't mean that you should stop talking, okay? Like stop. It just means that you can just give that a break. Then when I give you that encouragement, it depends, because there's so many wonderful people that usually join, okay? So we want to make it conversational. So being conversational means when I start saying something, right? The ideal is if you can just slow down. But apart from that, we'll do our best to make it more kind of presentable. There's so many stuffs that will go into this production now. It's no longer just Maiyegun. Other people will be speaking and talking from everywhere. Please indulge me. You understand? Like indulge it if it's not coming out so good with some parliamentarians, simply because maybe our voices are lapping. Please don't, I'll do my best, Sha. I just thought I should tell you, right? Now, if you want to join us, I have already seen a lot of us who are already getting ready. Here you get, please stay in a place that is quiet, put on the light, put on your clothes, and mute your mic. And once you come on the screen, just stay on. You will you get your own slot when to talk. And then you can just tell us whatever comes to your mind. You don't really have to. In fact, you may not even talk about all I have said tonight or any of this. Whatever you want to say. That is why we call it the People's Parliament. You're free. All right? I'm inviting you, the bat idiots. Yeah, you should join. Come on. Be bold enough. Don't stay in the comment section, right? Making those loud mouth. You this Omo Ali. Come and tell me to my face that I am Omo Ali. If now your papa born you, maybe that will encourage you, Abi. If now your papa and your mama born you, don't say Omo Ali. Don't call me Omo Ali in the comment. Put on your camera. And join the People's Parliament. Okay? You this Maiyegun. No. This is your time. This is your chance. Okay? If now your papa born you, if you know be Omo Ali, this is your chance. Come and say it to my face. Yes. So, yeah. Get yourselves ready. And the moment we get back on, it's going to be about, you know what I mean? It's just going to be the parliamentarians. Thank you very much to those of you who are already ready. You're going to come on in another 5 minutes, by the way. But let's take a look at this. Meanwhile, before that, do you know that somebody sent a video online today and it was about Nigerians? It was about Nigerians who are already processing their student visa. I think to the UK, almost see crowd. Everybody wants Jackpot leave Nigeria right now. More who go can remain. I'll show you.
Show you this here. Show you.
Audio is just like, it's a mess sometimes, right? It just keep repeating itself and it just stays on. I'm sorry about it. So yeah, but they tell everybody want Jackpot any chance last song. Even if they say Jackpot na 50 million and you see that Nigerians are getting poorer, you'll be surprised that they will cough out the 50 million. Say na Jackpot na 100 million. They will pay the 100 million. And all of these are just because as tougher and tougher the whole situation becomes, the economy and the rest, as some people are being pushed into crime, some people are being pushed into prostitution, some people are going to also be pushed outside Nigeria, jackpot everywhere. And all these embassies, they will make so much money and they will give back very, very few visas. Unfortunately, but anyway, some said that the judiciary should not fear and nobody should intimidate the judiciary. They go fight and this and that. So I'm going to play that, then I'm going to bring my parliamentarians on. They are already like beaming with smiles, getting ready and all that to bear their mind, including those of you, the bad idiots. One more time, if you know Omo Ali, stop commenting in there. If you're watching me on Facebook, there is a link on Facebook in the comment. You will see there. Open that link if you know Omo Ali. Don't type and call me Omo Ali. If now your papa born you, you know Omo Ali. Oh yeah, use that link. Bring your face here. May I see your face? Yes. You want on link here. To back in Shomo Ali. Cafe Sarah. Anyway, don't. I'm just saying that. Okay, you can still come on. You don't really have to. It doesn't matter. Come here. Come and speak your mind. Come and tell us what we probably missing. You know? Again, let's go to those who are counting on the courts. And when I get back, the parliamentarians will show up on the screen and the O for IG will start. Don't go anywhere.
Generally across from all these tiers and arms of government, and which is telling today on the lives of the ordinary Nigerians. We will say this, that any threat on the judiciary is a threat to democracy. This is an important tenet of democracy, that the judiciary must be free, must be independent, and then for rule of law to work, we must see it being operated, meaning justice must be done, and not only done, it must be seen to be done. It must be seen to be done. And unfortunately today, no one here today will beat his chest and say that we believe in the autonomy, we believe in the independence of our judiciary. Now, permit me to go through some of the key things we have highlighted for Nigerians and the world to know. First, we have seen it that a senior advocate of Nigeria in a democratic dispensation will tell the world that if the judges uphold justice, there is going to be anarchy. Why not say that if the justices or the judges now do injustice, there will be anarchy? If not in Nigeria, where would you have a senior advocate saying that when the judges do the right thing, there is going to be anarchy? COPDEM and all well-meaning Nigerians are against these kinds of politically incorrect statements at the highest level. And based on this, let us recall on the legal profession itself, the presidency, and all arms of government to come together and condemn these approaches and condemn such utterances before our own judges, whose life might be put into danger if, perchance, they take what that very lawyer is saying, because it's a democratic and it's a threat. It's undemocratic and it is a threat. Now, more so, not long ago, last week, there was a support group or a coalition of support groups of APC held in Kaduna who came out to tell the world that only God can remove Tinubu from office. Now, for the media itself to carry this is a threat to our democracy. Why do we have a judiciary? Why do we have the election petition tribunals? And why do we have all the tiers of hierarchy of courts in Nigeria? It's for justice to be done and be seen to be done. So for any group to be given a voice to come to tell the world that only God can remove the president from his position is simply anti-democratic, and in fact this should be labeled as treason, because our constitution is the supreme law operating in Nigeria, and then we are one nation under God, but God has given us the instruments of the constitution to be used, and then the relevant law.
Right. I have been having that issue with, with all this audio with my system, right? And it's unfortunate. I hope it won't kind of affect our conversation tonight. So good evening to everybody. As we do, we are going to be hearing from beautiful minds, where everyone is going to speak their own truth as what is going on in Nigeria or right now in Africa, what your views are. So please help me mute your mic, like I did say before, no vex. Let me mute that so we won't have interruption, okay? And to everybody who still probably want to join us, remember, what you have to do is just open that link, all right? Open that link, and then mute your microphone when you come on until you get your shot to. I'm trying to put your microphone on mute. Maye. Thank you so much. I believe everybody can hear me, right? Just wave your hand if you can hear me, so I can know that. Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's set the screen. 1 second, though. I just try and put the screen in a way that it can look a little bit kind of organized. So to everybody who might want to also be part of this convo tonight, all you have to do is to use that link in the comments, okay? Now let's share the slots. We're going to start. I'm going to, where is that again? Let's bring all the names. So make it more, parliamentarian as it should be. So my own name is Maiyegun General, the host. And then I have on the screen right now parliamentarians who have already joined. I've got Okonsman, who happen to have been there for a while. I have got Air Force One is back. African Wahala is back. Zemoye, Baba, you are also back. So Kizi, I have you here too. Then Ifeanyi, great guys. And then we are waiting for others who are also going to be joining. Remember, because it's going to be a lot of people. And like I did say, if you are joining us, so I want you to please mute camera and stay in a very quiet place. So no interruption and all that, okay? Very important. Then you should also remember your slots, your number. The reason is because sometimes the conversation can get really, really so interesting that I won't even remember who is next. So do me that favor as well. So let's share the slots. I'm going to start with Okonsman. Then I'm going to go to African Wahala based on when I saw all of you entering the parliament. So we're going to go that way. So, and then Air Force One, it's going to be you after African Wahala. Ozemoye, it's going to be you. Then Kizi, you're going to go after Moyes. And then Ifeanyi, good to see you anyway. So yeah, you are going to go after Kizi, right? I've got Nat, Nathaniel. I've seen your face now, it's beautiful. So yeah, you are going to go after Ifeanyi. Remember, please remember who you are going after so that me, I get lost in the whole thing, right? So without wasting much of our time, I've got somebody on my screen called Ole Tinubu. But you will need to put your camera on because it's going to be your shot. Now from you, we'll go change the button. It's always very interesting, but there's something I want to remind us of, okay? Jokes apart, all right? There are a lot of people who really, really enjoys conversation like this. So I want to remind us, if you disagree with anybody, it's fine to disagree. Just say, I disagree with that last speaker. Oh, I agree with the last speaker. We don't want you to take anything personal, get insultive and all of that. Sure you get. We don't need that. We just want to enjoy that healthy conversation. Forget about what I said about people calling me Omuale and the rest. No. Just come here and have a chat, all right? And make it interesting. So I hope we will remember this as we get on. As the speaker, the general overseer of the temple, here we have our parliament. And the people are already here, the parliamentarians. I hereby declare this parliament open. So thank you very much. Now, the first parliamentarian to take the stage is going to be my dear Okonsman. I don't know how to pronounce that yet, but yeah, your short, sir, please. 5 minutes is the most you have. Make most use of it, sir. Please.
Yeah, thank you, Maiyegun. I've always been your fan. By the way, the name is pronounced Okonsman.
Okonsman, great.
Yes, I've always been your fan. I've followed your program for a long time. In fact, as I speak to you now, I'm actually preparing for a receipt exam. I was so focused on your program that I failed one of my modules this year. But no regrets, because your program has been very enlightening. You know, I've learned so much from your program, and I've also come to realize that our struggle as a people, as a nation, is actually very deep and complicated. Because with all the very beautiful ideas we have, how to make the right decisions, how to choose the right leaders, it is shocking when we see people's reaction towards ideas being put forward, how people are, so willing to do the wrong thing and expect a right result. It doesn't work that way. It has never worked that way. So I'll be really surprised if people are surprised the way the country is going down by the day. it is not surprising at all. You know, we know this is the path it will take if it happens the way it has happened. And we have seen where it is going. I really believe that even though P2B would not have been able to solve all our problems, I'm very certain we would not have been at this point with him in the arms of affairs. I'm happy he went to court. My eyes are on the judiciary like every other person. And if at the end of it all, the judiciary failed to uphold the constitution that we have, even though I won't really want to call it as a working constitution, but let's just presume it is working. If they decide not to uphold it, then I think, using the words of Tinubu, political power is not served in any restaurant. It's not served in a la carte. At all costs, we'll have to fight for it. We'll have to grab it. We have to snatch it and run away with it as Nigerians. I feel that is the only way that we can liberate ourselves as a people. That's the only way we can make advancement as a nation. In summary, our country, Nigeria, has been built on lies. It has been sustained on lies. As long as we decide to continue to follow that path of lies, there will be no progress in that country. We need to accept the truth, come to a general table, dialogue on the way forward. If we're unable to come to any conclusion on that dialogue, then there is nothing wrong for us to break like every other nations have broken. And everyone, take your part, decide your destiny. Nothing wrong with that. As long as of it all, it leads to the peace, the progress that we earnestly desire. So that is my take and my contribution this night. Thank you.
And that's a very beautiful one. Thank you so much for that. We've got loads of people right now queuing to take the baton from just yours. So thank you, Baba. And then all the best in your exams, okay? I would love to hear you know what I mean, like.
Thank you. I'll pass it. I'll pass it this time.
Right now you have it, okay? And you will pass it. You will. I'm going to congratulate you on that soon. All the best, Baba. So yeah, let's leave our consummate to partly concentrate on his reading, as well as partly follow this conversation behind the scene. As we've all come to realize, somebody said we are MaiyegunsDiary political junkies, right? We just need to inject this in our vein at least every evening. It's so important that a lot of us have been so addicted to it, including myself. So yeah, glad that we had, we had a consummate there. Now let's just go to African Wahala. Are you still there? The African Wahala. You're short.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me take the first 30 seconds to implore everybody to click on the like button. I encourage you to smash that like button right now. It helps us, have the video, the presentation spread to more people, so more people can get these therapeutic feelings that we get. Me personally, the Temple of Truth is therapeutic for me. It's a way that has helped me over the years have less stress about Nigeria, because Nigeria stresses all of us. You know, a lot of us that are no longer in Nigeria, we've gotten to that point where we are constantly hearing negative news, and it just makes us depressed over time. Trust me, you might not even notice it, but over time, that depressive news would make you depressed. So the Temple of Truth helps us understand the situation, and it's therapeutic. That's what it is. So let me start with, thank you so much, the General Maiyegun. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'll take just 3 minutes. Did you guys notice how the clowns, they are supposed to be parliamentarians as well, the guys in Ecowas, during their meeting in Abuja, they took about 5 minutes to address themselves. His Excellency, the President of Ghana, Nana Akufo, His Excellency, Ouattara, His Excellency, Honorable this. You know why they do that? Because they have low self-esteem. These guys are suffering from inferiority complex, and they're always looking for a way to make themselves feel good. That's why they all vie for political positions. And that's why once they get into political offices, they refuse to leave. They will do anything to remain. They turn the ministerial positions into their retirement homes in Nigeria, even in many other West African countries. They turn the Senate, the National Assembly, in the case where they use parliamentarian system of government in Ghana, it has become their retirement homes. These guys are thieves. Their only job is to rob us, drive expensive bulletproof Mercedes Benz, build the most expensive houses in West Africa, in Dubai, in London, in America. That's all they care about. While we in Nigeria, for example, 35% are not living in multi-dimensional poverty. 65%, over 140 million people, are suffering day to day. So why wouldn't I have hatred for these politicians? I hate them. And you should too, to be honest with you. And when I'm talking about this revolution going on in Niger, it puts us in a between a rock and a hard place. Because for a lot of us that were in our younger days, when this guy was the military head of state, Sani Abacha, Babangida, me, I was even privileged to be living in Abuja during those times in the early 90s. And I'm going to tell you what, those guys, man, those guys were savages. Buhari topped them. Buhari did worse than Sani Abacha and Babangida. He did worse than them. But those guys were savages. And for that reason, we have some fears about supporting a military junta. But at the same time, we know that the democratic guys are criminals. That's why a majority of the people, they are not even thinking, they are straight up supporting the military junta. So it's understandable why that is the case. But at the same time, we have to be careful. For example, in Mali, what happened today, yesterday on Thursday, a radio station had a program, and in the program, they were, critical of the Niger junta people. And Ibrahim Traore, the military leader in Mali, banned that radio station until further notice. You can go check it out. It's on the internet.
It's
so
true, isn't it?
We're already seeing, honestly, I don't like the democratic system that we have in Africa. It's garbage. But at the same time, the military system, we have to be careful in the way we support it because we know what they always turn out to be. They most of the time turn out to be criminals. They turn out to be agbada-wearing criminals that we have today. The Abdul Salamis, the Babangida can't walk anymore. If he could walk, he will be going to Niger, trust me. So that's the situation we find ourselves in. Let me go to the third topic. El-Rufai is a terrorist. We already know what it is. The fact that El-Rufai did not get selected to become a minister, I know many people are celebrating. They find that as a little win for them. But the truth is, there are already many other criminals that are ministers. Metawale is a minister. In Akpabiole is a criminal. These are the people in charge of the country. So because we had one loss, El-Rufai, that didn't get there, I don't think it's enough reason for us to celebrate. But it is what it is. Thank you for having me on the show today. Peace and blessings to you, my brother Maiyegun, and the rest of the chat. Blessings. Thank you so much.
All you get from here is also love. African Wahala. Thank you so much. You have a good
Yes, sir. Thank you. You too.
Sir. So now I'm going to go to Air Force One. How are you doing, sir?
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm very well. Thanks for asking. It's good to see your face.
Same here, sir. Same here.
Brilliant. So your shots, please. Go for it.
Yes, sir. I think good afternoon for every parliamentarian who are on the show. So I'm going to start by, I think yesterday when I called in on the show, I was trying to talk about the northern elders who were present at the Ecowas meeting they had, the Gigibe, the likes of the Sultan of Sokoto, whatever, that they are all mute, but I know that the end thereof of whatever Tinubu is trying to pull up it's going to be disastrous because, like it's become. I mean, we are all aware right now that the northern part of the country, probably almost a few people they have relatives in Niger. They have relatives in Niger who lives in there, and which this decision of them invading the country is not going to sit well with them. So I think if they still move on with this their decision of standby and invading the country, it's going to be like a time bomb. Not even time bomb. Disaster will be so alarming, very, very alarming. It will be so alarming. So that is that about that one. And another thing I want to talk about the Nigerian thing is that nobody wants military to take over any nation that has been democratically, existing in democracy. But even the crusader of democracy, that is the Western world or the West, who are the crusader pretty much that we try to emulate. I think I'm seeing them using this thing as a weapon to come over here, impose indirectly who they want to govern the nation that they can control, and from there, siphoning and embezzling our resources, and in return giving us peanuts, making African poor. Like in Yoruba language, they will say, can you imagine, for example, when the president of Uganda was talking the other day from the clip Maiyegun showed yesterday during the show, the guy said they have uranium, and people came over to take permission probably to be mining it or whatever, or whichever way they dig it out from the ground. And the proposal presented to them, nobody even come back. So they will come, take all our stuff to their country, build up their country, while Africa still remain poor. But the sad part of this is that even the Africans, the Nigerians, for example, because I'm in Nigeria, I can only talk about Nigeria, they don't even know what is even happening. They don't even know. They are novice, some of them are novice, they didn't even know there is a life somewhere that Nigeria can be better than the way it is. We live in Western world. We see the way things are done, rule of law, which is going to bring me to judiciary or Judy's Coco, whatever they call them. Judy. Like I've been saying this before. I don't have any expectation, like zero. My expectation like zero with judiciary, because if Boko Haram can even boycott or neglect the court order, court rule, court judgments, and still have Nnamdi Kanu where he is today. So what expectation do we want to have? Or should we have? Or should anyone even have in the judiciary, regarding the tribunal, that is whatever, when they are writing their judgment or all the likes. So when it comes to the farmers, all these things they've been saying about farming in the nation, you want to give farmers what do they call this? AIDS and everything like that, whereby farmers cannot even go to their farm and till their land and plant crops and everything because there is insecurity. Why don't you take care of insecurity first? And make everywhere or every region peaceful. Now people can go to farm, till their land, and produce many foods for the nation. So my people will say, yeah. People need to eat. Nigeria are solving.
Thank you so much, Air Force One. As usual, it's such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you,
around.
sir. Thanks for the opportunity.
Sir, thank you. So that's from Air Force One. Because we have a tradition, parliamentarians, we have a tradition here. And that tradition is that even when we still have a lot of us who haven't spoken, when we have a lady among us, we always kind of give them that courtesy, ladies first. And then, because usually they say politics is for men. Now, man thing, But these days, we are now having more and more and more women. Our women who are kind of not just interested in local and international politics, they are more knowledgeable about what is going on. And it's such a pleasure to have them around whenever we are lucky to have them like this. So I'm going to give this to Milady. I know if it's ideal for you to pull over, that's okay. You might do that for us because it's going to be your shot. I'll help you on mute. That's right.
Okay.
So, my Milady Victoria.
Hello, everybody. It's so nice to see you guys face to face. Maiyegun, is a pleasure meeting you face to face as well. My driving is very short, don't worry, but I will be fine. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, the parliamentarians, and everyone on the forum. It's my pleasure being here today, and I'm so happy to be part of this group and also part of the platform. You know, one thing I would say is that, pardon me for speaking Yoruba for some time and I will speak English. I'm sorry, I just have to do some proverbs. And they said, Omo ale lo fowosi juwele babe.
That's right.
If you are born by a father, you know your mother, you will not be doing this to your brothers and sisters. That's just a point blank. What they are doing in Nigeria right now is still going to haunt them, haunt their generation, their family, everyone that is part of them. You know, it's so sad because when we look back, when we're growing up, things were not like this. Things were so easy. Even it's difficult for our parents, but they will still assure us, don't worry, we will get it. Especially when it's Christmas period. I don't know if any of you, your parents take you to Balogun or wherever to go and buy Christmas shoes and clothes. Sure, you understand? We all looking forward to that period. That, oh, you know, Christmas is coming. We're definitely going to Balogun. We don't look to say we're going abroad. No. We go to Balogun, shop right there with our parents. We are so happy in the market. We get into the car. We even visit Leventis in Balogun. It's just like abroad. And we're so happy and content with all those things. And we go back home. Christmas Day, we kill 4 or 5 chickens or even 2 with jollof rice. We are happy. You can't see that these days. I know the whole system is messed up. Definitely messed up. But it's now up to us, we of this generation, how we're going to fight it, how we're going to, you know, deliberate about it, and, you know, get our mandate back. That is just the point. And that's what everyone is fighting for. Judiciary or no judiciary, I know God is up there. God will do what he has to do. And he's going to do it. And we will surely take control of everything by the grace of God. That's just my own contribution. Nice to meet you guys.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much as well for at least, partially. Right? You should drive
Thank
safe,
you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. All right.
Right. Now, let's go back to our rota. Okay. It's important that we then go. I think now you have to help me now. All right. I know I've added extra other people, right? I know Kizzy. I know that Moye. Which one of you goes first?
Moye.
I know it's between two of you. Kizzy.
Moye. No, Moye goes first.
Moye. Right. Now it's gonna be you, Moye. Brother, how are you?
Brother Maiyegun, good evening, my dear Parliament members.
Good evening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Maiyegun, for everything you do. I really appreciate you. Anyway, is Muktala Mohamed Ozemoya. I'm talking from France. Before I started watching your program, once I see Muktala Mohamed Ozemoya, I'm from the state. Raymond Dokwesi.
Yeah, you have a lot of explanation to make. Oh, you have to give evidence. Go on.
Raymond Dokwesi is my townsman. He's still our kinsman. Anyway, from Agenebude, from Edo State. So, anyway, before I start watching your program, once Maiyegun is live, I just put like before I forget, and I put share so that everybody will know I'm on Maiyegun's program. Let me manage my point. Maiyegun, thank you very much for all you do. God bless you. God bless your family. We know how it takes to be in Europe, taking care of family and this same program. Osita, I always listen to your analysis. You are my VIP any day, anytime. Sometimes I listen to your telephone conversation. I have to go back again and reason with you and imagine how you're seeing things. I respect your analysis a lot. Madam Charms and Princess, may God bless you and every member also. So my point here is, as far back 1985, 88, I have a family friend. She told me her father was working with Nigerian Airways. As at then, when the airline was having problem, instead of the airport authority to repair the plane or the aircraft, they would say, just park it there. As at far back 1988 or 85, just park it there. This man presently now is in US. He was like saying, but this thing is not normal now. Why would these people be saying park the plane? That was how Nigerian, to cut the story short anyway, that was how Nigerian Airways had one or two issues. At the end of the day, everything came up to be blah, 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 blah. Nigeria affects most of us in diaspora, indirectly or directly. If it's not from family, it's from friend, it's from sister, it's from brother. I had health issue, I'm having child problem challenges, I'm having house rent, instability of, even if you want to do business, instability, something you buy yesterday, 5 naira, they'll tell you now it's 10 naira, is really killing. And African Wahala said something about Buhari before I forget, because I wrote some points here. If the same Buhari, our former president, that the kinsmen of Igbo land went to Aso Rock to visit him and pleaded to him to please release Nnamdi Kanu, the man just ignored it, did not do anything, he left the post, and nothing happened. At the end of the day, we are where we are. Nigeria. When I was representing Nigeria during the Commonwealth Games, we went to Scotland. Now, in your country there in 2014. My story as being a foreign athlete, they paid allowance. I said, okay, where's my allowance? They said I didn't put my name. When they go back to Nigeria, they're going to give me my allowance. At the end of the day, they went back to Nigeria. They now told me the Secretary General of the Commonwealth team, the man died. Okay, if the man died, how can I get my money? They said the file. They don't know, or they can't even find the file. That was how Nigeria did not pay me my £2,000. No, $2,000, sorry. Nigeria has happened first. That was 2014. When I was
Salah Muhammad.
I can't hear you. What did you say?
God damn it, man.
No. Nigeria. Everybody just have his own story. Man of prestige. I only see your program with Dr. Ruben. I enjoy your analysis anyway. But Osita, I hope to see you and I hope to have a chat on one-on-one with you. I enjoy your analysis. Princess, Madam Charms. Let me give other people chance to talk, but Nigeria has happened to me, and I don't pray it happened to someone else. But Nigeria, we will meet in court for all LP candidates. Please just reduce all LP people. Please reduce your expectation. And lastly, Maiyegun, I don't know if I still have time.
Yeah,
how about that? Hello?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, how about the soldier man? What's that his name again? The soldier man that is still in prison. Any news regards of his family? Because my father was into military anyway. And when Osita, sometimes when he's talking about Ilupeju, Maryland, I was born in Ikeja Cantonment, military barrack. Ikeja military cantonment, Lagos State, Nigeria. I was born there. I went to school there before I traveled to France. So whenever you're talking about Elupeju, Antonio, I was just laughing. Maiyegun is warlord. So
yeah, let me quickly answer you. Let me quickly answer you, by the way, on that Corporal Martins.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, something is that I actually spoke to him today. Like, he's been trying to speak to me for the past 1 or 2 weeks. Okay, I have an update. Him, he's fine. And he's going to come onto this program soon. He's currently doing some clearance and all that. They've honorably discharged him. Okay. They said under for health reasons. So he's been discharged from the military. But we are now working on, would they pay him his severance, or they will make him suffer for it, or we will need to get him a legal aid and all that stuff. I mean, your mind is so great that your mind actually went straight to him. And I spoke to him today. Nice one, Baba. I will come back here with more on him. Okay, thanks for asking. By the way,
Director, cut your mic. Cut your mic. Cut your mic.
hey, I know you should have a good one. That's what I meant when I said the conversation can be lagging or overlapping. Did you experience that with Ozemoya? I mean, Ozemoya there now. I had to slow down because he was kind of hearing me late. I hope it won't affect other parliamentarians here right now. So let's go to Kizi. And from Kizi, we're going to go to Ifeanyi. Others who are supposed to be in between, be like, say they don't disappear, but I'll bring them back. And for now, let's hear from Kizi. Kizi, Baba, how you doing, sir?
Maiyegun, I did fine. I just want to greet you. To Alessa, you are doing well, right? So I'm not gonna take much of our time. I just want to go straight to the point. And first, I'm gonna comment on Ecowas versus Niger, because it's kind of funny that, especially going by what I think the second caller actually said about, the worst civilian government being better than the best military and stuff like that. But I kind of ask myself, ECOWAS, we've had instances in so many countries in West African sub-region, where democratic elected governments are messing up big time. And, I'm not the only one saying it. I've had a lot of commentary on television and stuff like that, where people are making the same point, and they've never uttered a word to say, okay, this thing is not good. People perpetuating themselves in government over the years. People actually, okay, let me even use Nigeria as an example. We saw what happened at Lekki Gate. That was overseen by a civilian government, a massacre by a civilian government, and nothing happens. Nobody's taking responsibility for that. Lagos State government keep denying till today that nobody died, even though they are going to bury over 100 and something people, mass burial, So it's kind of an irony that they will come up and, without gauging the pulse of the nation, Niger in particular, to see why is it that people are celebrating these people. And I tell you of a fact that if the same thing happened in Nigeria today, people will be on the street celebrating the military. I'm not praying for that, but I'm telling you, if you gauge the pulse of the nation, it's the same thing that will happen in Nigeria. If such an action is taken by the military, it will be the same thing. Why? Because people have seen that elections in Africa is about what the neo-colonialists want. If it goes their way, that is perfect democracy, right? But if it goes the way of the people, then there is something else. Now, let me give you an example. You see what is happening in Kenya, right? You see where the opposition is mounting pressure on the government that won clearly an election. Why? Is it that the West is not saying anything about it, but they want the government to allow the opposition to have a free hand to do demonstration? That is the typical lie that the Western media and government will tell us, right? Now, let me also point to the fact that there is this misconception that I've noticed, when we say things, maybe by omission or by commission, right? When we say that, oh, our northern brothers, how far, this thing, this shege that you does, how about the renewed shege? This, to me, when we say that, we kind of try to, make it look like there was an actual election that produced Tinubu. No election produced Tinubu. Tinubu did not win. Tinubu did not even come. If you ask me, even the man from Kano even came before Tinubu in terms of, who came first, second, third, and stuff like that, right? So when we say those things, it will be as if there was actually an election that actually produced him by the people, basically by the northern elements. No, I want us to disabuse our mind from that. Tinubu did not win any election in Nigeria, and that is how it is. Now, also, look at Francophone countries and their disenchantment with what France is doing. And I tell you of a truth. You see what is happening in Francophone countries is actually also happening in the Anglophone countries. It's just that we are not looking at it deeply. When we look at it deeply, we see what is happening. You see that pipeline that is going from Nigeria all the way from Chad all the way to Europe. What do you think that is? It's the same thing that is happening with the mines in Chad and all the rest of it. It's the same thing, right? So let me just leave it at this stage. I thank every one of you. Maiyegun, you're doing a great job. God bless you.
Thanks a lot. Right. I appreciate this as well. And then your patience too. And thanks for that contribution. So let us go to Ifeanyi. I've got this kind of a big face there. Sir Rudolph Okonkwo. Such a pleasure to have you with us tonight as well, right?
Thank you.
We will get to you too, right? So let's talk to Ifeanyi, who is waiting. So Ifeanyi, how are you, sir? I can help you on mute.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I think I can. Hang on.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can. Please.
Okay. Okay. The government, they're looting. The politicians and it's the educated people that are helping them to rig our elections. So when we talk about education, it's actually the educated people that are helping those people that are uneducated to rig our elections. There's no way for Africa if we're going to think about money interest first before we think about our humanness first. We are humans first before money. But they're letting their brain be occupied with money. And all the things they're doing, even if you look at the Senate House, they're talking about giving them money to go home with. I heard Akpabio saying they're giving them money to go home on, whatever they're doing, so that they can. It's all about money for them. You cannot equate a human being with money. We are humans first before the material interest. But these politicians think about money first, and that is what is pushing Africa backwards. You think about Ecowas, what's going on in there? They don't care about the election that went on in Nigeria. They don't care about NSAS killing. They don't care about nothing. But when it comes to their materialist interest with the West, they get attention. Who sold us to slavery? They did. These people called the Western people to come to Nigeria to murder my people, the Igbos, for 3 years. They starved us, they killed us, did everything they can with the Western interest. These people are not there for us. They are there for themselves. Our politicians have not changed the way they think. They think one way and one way only. What's going to favor them, not for their people. Every politician you see in Nigeria, they're thinking one way only. What will it benefit me and my family? Their families are not in Nigeria. Their family go to West. The same way Putin said, Nigeria is just a burial ground for our politicians. They build their houses over there. They train their children over there. Only when they are about to die, we bury them in our graveyards in Africa. It's a shame. We got to start, this generation right now, we try to change that concept. You play the video of Nigerians trying to jackpot. That is the syndrome right now. Everybody wants to take off because there's no job. They're not creating jobs. You can come to Africa and mine our gold, our coffee, our cocoa, our air diamonds, everything. You not even give, even Nigeria they mine our petroleum, but we don't have no working refinery. What the hell? Why can't you make a contract with them and say, hey, build me one refinery before you can mine my oil? We don't have, we ship what we mine here overseas, and they're gonna refine it and bring it back, and we're gonna buy. What kind of sense is that? Are we dealing with monkeys? What are we dealing with? I don't even know who these people are. I don't know how they reason.
Ifeanyi, thank you so much. Right? Yeah, that's another kind of interesting part or perspective you've taken it to, which is asking them why. Like, do we not actually deserve better, as people will say? So, Ifeanyi, thank you very much for this. So let's go on and speak. And get other people's contribution too.
Thank
right?
you.
Good one. And I have a quick message, by the way, for everyone who has participated already, okay? The moment you have had your shot, right? Please don't send an invite back in. You are blocking other people from gaining access. You are taking their slot. Do you get that now? So when you're like removed, right? Please don't send the invite back in. I know a lot of you might want to add to what you have said already, but we have the long list and limited time. Okay, so I'm going to reshare our slots now, and then please kindly do me that favor so we can get more people on as much as possible. So out of respect, Dr. Damages, you are going to have your 5 minutes shot. Okay,
5 minutes.
Who was supposed to pass you the baton currently is missing. So the space is vacant. So I'm going to share it from you. Okay, and it's actually a pleasure having you on. Thank you very much for being part of this.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the work you do. I just came on to say that I watch you. I stop by every now and then, and I want to make sure you know that you are doing a great job. And I want to use this opportunity also to invite you to be our guest on 90 Minutes Africa whenever you are free. You know, I will. If I have a way to reach you, like your contact, we talk, and I will see when you can join us.
Sure, I've got contact on there, which is what is already public, right?
Okay,
but
okay.
I see your message, I can go read the WhatsApp, right? Or better still, a direct message rather than WhatsApp, right? We can work that out.
Okay, good, very good. So you are doing a wonderful job. I said that already, and I really am proud of. I discovered you. Some of my friends told me about you, and since then, whenever I have free time, I stop by and listen to you. Most of the time, there's no space to come in, so I was surprised today. I saw there were a room, and I said, okay, let me come in and say hello to you. Thank you so much for what you do. I think I wanted to say the only thing I wanted to say is that looking at Nigeria today. I think one of the things that we are missing, there are signs about what will happen, and we don't have a kind of what do you say? People say a way to look back. We don't look back at things. I was reading the WikiLeaks today. I was reading things that Bola Tinubu said to the Americans as governor in WikiLeaks. If you guys remember the cables that were published long ago. And I was shocked that we let everything that happened that period to slide. This guy was just like an asset to the Americans, telling the Americans everything about. I was thinking, the Americans, they shouldn't have CIA in Nigeria or FBI, because Nigerian officials basically walk up to the ambassador, tell them everything about the country. So I think that we keep missing opportunities to deal with our people who are bad people. And then we hope that things will change when the same people will now take bigger positions. If you go back and read the WikiLeaks and see what some of these people now running the affairs of Nigeria, what they say to the Americans, how they revealed information, Nigeria's own information to the Americans, you will know that they are just going to do exactly what they are doing. How do people believe that someone like Ababio could be a good Senate president, will care about the people, when you know his track history? How could people believe that there is any way that Bola Tinubu will not do the things he's doing now? You know, so our people are so, I don't know how. Sometimes I blame the media. I understand the restrictions and the problems that the media we all have, but there's a need to always remind people about who these people are, not what they are trying to portray, what the painted picture they are going to give. And you do a great job. There are some periods that will come and you are talking about what happened in the 50s, in the 60s, which are things that people have forgotten. People don't even have an idea that this is where we started. This is why we cannot go further than where we are. So I just wanted to say, for those who are watching and those who are in the panel, I say, we should do more to reflect on where we are coming from. Because if we don't know where the rain started to beat us, we are not going to know when it will start. These people you are seeing, these people that we are seeing on the scene, people like Ababio, people like Bola Tinubu, all those characters, they started somewhere. And their history, they can't change now. they are not going to change. They are going to continue to carry, because it's the same thing that works for them. If you look at what happened when the Labour Party, Labour Union, Nigerian Labour Congress, they came out to protest, and Tinubu used the same system that he used in Lagos to get them to calm down. And then things started going worse, and then they came back again, and people didn't notice this. I can tell you, I wasn't there, but I can tell you for sure that the meeting they had, they must have said to the Labour people, you know what, go out there and demonstrate. Let this team out, demonstrate for one day, and then we'll forget about it. And that's exactly what happened. And people continue to be deceived, and they use the same formula, the same templates on our people. Our people, we need to think deeper. We need to look at the past so that we can understand today and tomorrow. That's all I want to say.
You are so right. Thank you so much. Right. There is this, I think it's a proverb, isn't it? Like that, he who failed to learn from history is bound to repeat.
Yes. And the price will double. At that point, the price will double. Yeah.
Yes. And thank you very much and for your invitation, right?
Yeah.
Just to make sure that whatever we're going to do, right, is not going to clash with my own people here. We are calling ourselves junkies now. Like, we can't even afford to miss our 8 p.m. right? But like first, we can work something out. I would love to be part of that. Right?
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys.
You have a good one. Okay. Nice one. So that's Dr. Damages, to everybody who actually knows him very well. I would say, yeah, it's quite kind of encouraging, when people who have been on this for years manage to come out and say, you are doing so nice, like that. Thank you. Now, let's just share our slots again because of our remaining time. We still have about 50 minutes, which means we can get like, 3, 4, 5 people on as well, make it 10. And then use our time so wisely before it runs out, okay? So I'm going to go to Nat. So sorry, Nat. You were supposed to go before that only Tinubu that disappeared. That my brother there, right? But again, I'm going to start from you, sir. Nat will go. Then we are going to go straight to man of prestige. Sir, you will go after Nat, Nathaniel. And then Satoye, you will go after man of prestige. And then that will be Billy Igaro. Yours will be the one to hold the baton for the next people I'm going to bring on now, okay? Then, but please remind me as we just share that. So, Sir Nathaniel, is your shot, sir, please.
Okay. Thank you, Maiyegun General, and I salute you for your good work. And I thank all the parliamentarians tonight. I just believe that maybe one day you will move a motion like late Pa Inahoro and late Pa Awolowo. And I believe that since you are having such mind, salvation is going to come from people from the outside, because that is when what they saw in the British Parliament, what they saw how the world has been organized for some people far from the black man who they always use to build their nation. You remember that the wealth, people that has wealth in this world, first, their wealth came from the slave. The slave people they took away to their nations to build their nations. And after then, the world that we are today, you can't, the same people, their wealth, with the number of resources that is in the ground of Africa. And the black man who is doing foolishly along with them never know that they will never let him to shine as long as this world continue in the way they arrange it. So every black man or every brown man should know that they will not go to space in their nation. They will not have anything good medical care because the world has been redesigned for the favor of some people. And we know them, you know them. So I want to also say this, that what is going on, the wind of change is blowing already. That the Niger crisis is going to implode and it will enter Nigeria. For our northern brothers who have been pushing this APC, Muslim ticket, who supported Buhari, and don't forget how Buhari came to power. Buhari came to power because they rubbish him from outside. in the name of bring back our guests. We know who did that. And they gave us Buhari. You know the man that came to Nigeria that does not see Buhari, he went and see Buhari. He does not see Goodluck Jonathan. He went and meet Buhari. Yes.
You are John Kerry that time.
Yes. And they kick out.
You see
they kick out. Yes. And they put Buhari. And look what Buhari gave to, yes, look what Buhari gave to Nigerians. And look, Tinubu was even saying that he's going to continue from where Buhari stopped. And that is what you are seeing. The video you show about the Benue people. Has Tinubu traveled to Benue? Has Tinubu been to Southern Kaduna? So why are people doing the same thing, supporting evil, and they want to get good from evil? Now, the Northerners that are crying that, oh, we should not go to war, we should not go to war. That war is going to happen because Tinubu now, the people that are now using Tinubu, they are bigger than the Northerners who are afraid of war. And not only that, let the war come. Because if we have to die once for we to get something good, let us die so that we can get something good. 1980, when I was in primary school, they used to give us pencil free. They used to give us, you know, this chalk, slate, and so on. Primary 2, you start using, you know, all those ABCD something. It was free from the Shagari regime. What happened? Is Tinubu not in Nigeria? Was the same Buhari who kicked Shagari out of power? The same Buhari, is he not a Nigerian? Is he dead? Does he know that Shagari was trying to operate free education? Why did he kick Shagari out of power? Let me tell you, the bottom line is this. Nigeria is going to die. I'm not afraid to say this. And every person that is still having the interest to keep that nation alive, that person is going to see the same rot of Nigeria, either against him or her physically or against his people. What do you benefit as a Nigerian? When you come outside the world, they look at you as a criminal. They search you. Even in African countries, they start rejecting Nigerians. What a shame. Thank you for what you are doing. And let me quickly go to El-Rufai. Do you know that El-Rufai was among the governors who went to Obama in the White House in order for Goodluck to be kicked out? And today, people are going to say, oh, we want to be a minister. We don't expect any good thing from these people. Salvation is going to come from outside, and that is what you are doing. Every person should queue in. They will not let black man to shine. We know the people. We are in their nation. They will not let us to get up until we decide to free ourselves. And when these problems start in the jail, everybody should rise up to make sure that these our politicians, all of them will be taken out of the way so that we will build a nation that we want, a nation that our children will not be afraid to go to. Thank you very much.
God bless you. Sir Nathaniel, that one seems that was like a passionate one. And I would say amen to everything you've said. Of course, help will come from outside. It doesn't seem that the strife or the struggle from within will be enough, even though it's going to be the catalyst. So thank you with this. I'll go straight now to, where are we? It's going to be Man of Pride. Your shot, sir. Thank you so much for your patience. So, yeah. Hang on. It seems that the audio is not coming fully, so you might need to help us check that at your end there. Oh, no, this is not right. The audio, is it just me? Can you hear him? You can hear me very well, sir, right? And you are not muted, though. I wouldn't know what that is. Okay, hang on. Let's see. No audio for some reason. It just kind of. Let me see if I can now try the unmute. Let's try that. Maybe I can hear you now, sir. You can hear me loud and clear. Oh no, what happened to the audio? That's a first. Something is not right. So what I'm going to do now, sir, is this, right? You're going to come out and then you come back in. Let's try that and see. Maybe that's going to like kind of change it. So once you come back in, right, I'm going to put you next on the line. Okay. Let's try that, sir. Really sorry about that. And he's been so kind of patient all this while. He's been there. Now, I'm going to go to Satoye. I think it's your shot now. Now, let me try and meet you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Go for it, sir.
Can you hear me loud and clear?
Very loud and clear.
Okay. I don't have much to say though. I just want to say I love what you do and I wish I can do the same, but I don't have that that vibe. I don't have it, but since 2015 to date, I don't think I've missed your program for once. Since 2015 to date, I just love. In fact, my wife and children they know. I'm in Nigeria. They know I love listening to you. When I'm driving, coming back, I will even go back to the previous one you've done. I'll still keep watching because you've really opened the eyes of Nigerians to a lot of things that has been happening in a country called Nigeria. And I wish God can save us from all these things that are happening. I just want to say thank you for everything. Thank you for what you do, and God bless you. Amen. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Satoye. God bless you too. And thank you very much for the support, all right? None of them is taken for granted. I can see, I can feel them. And when I have a chance of seeing your faces, saying them to me, it means so much. It's not taken for granted. So thank you so much for that, all right? Stay safe and say me well to Madam. Tell her that I said
all right, bye.
Right? Nice one. So that is parliamentarian Toye, who just dropped his own beat there, just to say thank you, to show that indeed we are doing right or doing well. Now let me go straight to Sabili Igaru. Sir, while you are about to shoot, right? Give me 1 second. I have, I think I currently have 1 second though. I think I have a man of prestige back. So we're going to try the audio again. Hopefully it works. And then, I'll come back to you, sir. Well, 1 moment. He's back. So, hello, sir.
How you doing, Maiyegun? Can you hear me?
Better now. I'm very well. Thank you. Yes. So, Sir Igaru, sir, I'll come back to you. Yes, sir. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm calling from California, USA. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be on your platform as an unofficial investigating journalist. You are doing such a great job because I watch it sometime. I think I've only appeared on your platform once. So let me not take all my time talking. I need to utilize my 5 minutes properly. I haven't given you your commendation. My narrative is going to come from 2 dimensions. One of it is going to be beginning from home, which is Nigeria, supposedly home, then the other one is going to be about Ecowas. This government started off in a wrong foot. I mean, everything they have, so much parts, none of it is working. Beginning with the so-called parallel market, they tried to unify, the Naira. It's not working. Look at what happened yesterday. The Naira took, the worst fall ever. I think almost about 25 cents or 15 cents, Now it's about 9.20, 9.30, whatever it may be. And it's not going to get better. And ask me why. Simple economics. We are not exporting nothing. We are way deficit. So there's no way they can say whatever we want to say. I don't know who's the economic advisor advising him. It's not going to come out right. And not anytime soon, because they have started off, wrong food. That should have been the, the right measure to take, because we are not as prosperous as some of the developed countries. Now you want a Naira unification, which is not going to work in the Nigerian economy. We need to be more productive. Look at what, we're importing everything. So how are you going to say parallel market, which is controlled by global economy, that is going to help your Naira? It's going to get worse, before the end of the year. So it's close to 1,000. It went very fast, than I expected, that's close to 1,000 already. I thought maybe by the end of the year, it would be like about 1,000. But by the end of the year, it might go up to 1,400, 500. I'm not trying to be, pessimistic, but this is what's going to happen in Nigeria. I mean, everything they have done is not working right. I mean, the fuel subsidy is a mess to begin with. Yeah, I'm a proponent of fuel subsidy removal. If there's anything, I still have my doubt. If there's anything like fuel subsidy, that was implemented before, and that one is not working. The way it was implemented, it should have been gradually, So everything is worse, When you hear some Nigerians, which are considered to be house slaves, a lot of Nigerians, they're house slaves. That's what I call them. I don't mean to insult them. Some of them claiming that, Tinubu is doing well because he's speaking to you. Yeah, he's speaking to you more than Buhari did. But what has that done to the country? Nothing. So we're in trouble, okay? Let's just watch and see. Going by El-Rufai, claiming today that, he wants to go and pursue his doctorate degree, I think in Netherlands or whatever. That's the reason why. No, it's because he did not fail the security test and all that kind of thing that was implemented. But I'm glad he didn't get there, him and Wike, because each one of them is the same thing, but him and Wike is probably the worst, this is man who is religious intolerance, and you want him to come into that country. So having said that, let me move back to the Ecowas.
Yes,
they have boxed themselves into conundrum. When Tinubu or the Ecowas, because Tinubu is the leader of the Ecowas, when they draw that red line initially without dialoguing, they have gotten themselves into a mess. Because all these Ecowas leaders condemning military coup, the leaders themselves are institutional. They carry an institutional coup in each of the civilian where they currently operate. You are condemning about the military. Remember, I'm a proponent of democracy. Okay, don't misunderstand me. But tell me what democracy has done to Africa economically. There's some freedom to a certain way. But tell me from the military time up to the present time tell me, can anybody tell me what economically, what has democracy benefited Nigeria? I'm not saying we shouldn't practice democracy. The same thing as the military, apart from freedom of speech, may be subjugated and everything. So that's a problem. And they have no what is the option they have right now? They have boxed themselves into a conundrum. What am I trying to say? If they don't go and invade the country, that will make other nations around, now we have Guinea, Mali, I think Guinea-Bissau, their own was aborted or whatever. You have about 4 countries in West Africa right now. If they don't go and do what they're supposed to do, which I'm against with, because it's a sovereign nation, you need to let them make the decision, that's how I look at it. But if they don't go, they're going to amplify the situation because other smaller countries, Togo, Benin, or whatever, even Nigeria, they may see that as an opening. And the whole West Africa is going to be like Afghanistan, scatter everything. That's the way I'm looking at it. Right? The two options, none of them is good for West Africa. Africa, period. Let me just concentrate on West Africa, which is the worst of the whole Africa right now. So I just have to give my 2 cents, okay? But it's just a pleasure being on your platform, okay? But anyway, one more thing. I think I still have like a minute. Yeah, okay. I think Tinubu, whatever they are doing, somebody said they have something on Tinubu. Let's not abate to that. They must have something on it. Remember what happened a while ago? They said they're not going to release Tinubu file, until the year 2026. And when this Ecowas first started happening, the USA has over 1,000 military, and they have about $1 million, $1 million, drone there. How come they didn't find out what happened? France has about 115, military there. And now the first person they started calling was Kamala Harris. Start calling Tinubu. Biden stopped calling Tinubu. Why are they calling him? So he's gonna go to war. He's gonna go war. So we don't know what the outcome is gonna be. So I'm thinking they may have something on him. This is just my own personal opinion. I didn't get it from any part. Okay, thank you, Maiyegun. I appreciate it.
Similar to what you just said as well. So therefore, there must be some iota of truth in all of this, something they have on him. So yeah, thanks a lot, the man of prestige. I'm going to go to Billy Igaru now. You should have a wonderful one over there, sir. So yes, sir, is your shot. And I'm going to, before I reshare the whole thing again, because of our time, yes, you are unmuted already. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. I just finished working now, so I'm about to go. Oh, Billy, sorry.
All right, no problem. Mr. Maiyegun, okay, good evening to everybody. I'm really happy to be here tonight. Are you people hearing me?
Loud and clear, sir.
Okay, I'm really delighted to be here. For a long time, I've been trying to be one of this panel all these days, but I could not make it. Before I come, they are already everywhere is already choked. I'm really, really happy. Mr. Show, I always saw you on Dr. Dameji show. I really appreciate the way you moderate the show. I really appreciate. Thank you very much, Mr. Maiyegun, my brother. Now I'm somehow addicted to your channel. No day, it's like I've lost my evening to outside walking to you, because anytime I come home, I always stay to listen to Maiyegun, to Niger show, and Dr. Damages. That three channel, I don't joke with it. I'm really, really happy for the work you are doing for we, the Africans or Nigeria. I will come on a two ground like this. I have a complaint on my own, and I have a question to ask. And again, let me just quickly choke my mouth to this Niger proxy war, as I will put it. You know, people don't really know what is happening in Niger. You know, Russia having a problem with Ukraine, a kind of the Western world was a kind of supporting Ukraine, and Russia tried to block their gas because they are the major gas source to Europe. So now Europe is going to Africa, to Nigeria in particular, to go and lay in a pipe through Niger to Algeria, to Morocco, so that they can get a gas. Now Russia is going to Niger to go and block that axis, so that before they could go and take that pipe, they will have problem with them to contain. That is one, the way I reason it. I might be wrong. Two, Dr. Maiyegun, this question have been bothering me. Mr. Maiyegun, it have been bothering me ever since that election has took place. You know, where they continue saying that overvoting. I keep on asking myself, and all the shows I've been watching, and all the mainstream media, no one has really questioned this question, asked this question. One, those ballot paper, were they not produced by INEC and be signed before giving to a voter to go and vote? So how they come about that overvoting is what is still bothering me, what I don't understand. So please, can you educate me about it? How that come? Because I believe before they gave you a ballot paper, then we have to stamp it. Then you will go and vote and bring it back, and you go and vote and bring it back. They put it so the ballot box. So that overvoting, please educate me about it, how it comes about. Then my complaint.
Don't worry, I'll pause your 5 minutes, okay? Let's say you have another 2.5 minutes to go, okay? But quickly, overvoting is a sort of RNG scam, okay? It's a two-way thing. Now, talking about a ballot paper, numbered serialized ballot paper. Also, you have the result sheets. They have names for them. So the reason why you hear overvoting here and there is because they didn't follow the electoral process, which says if you want to vote, you show your card. Then when they accredit you, then they will give you a ballot paper. That ballot paper means if they say at this polling unit, you have 1,000 registered voters, okay? It doesn't mean that the whole 1,000 are going to come and vote that day. So in the morning, when you go for accreditation, that's when they will know the number of people that will eventually, you know what I mean, come and vote. But from INEC, they will give them that 1,000 ballot paper for that polling unit, okay? So what the political parties always do is that if they know that they want to kind of, do their cheating, is that they won't follow this serialized setting and all of that. No. They may pretend to be following them. Before now, they will be thumbprinting on just all those ballot paper, but they don't do that anymore. What they do now is just writing figure. So the way you will discover overvoting is that, let's say this area now, you have 1,000 voters, 500 come out to vote. Now, out of the 500, you have APC, you have PDP, you have Labour Party. So normally, let's say out of the 500, PDP has, let's say, 300. Oh, sorry, that's too much. Let's say Labour Party have 200. PDP have 150. APC has something like, let's say, 100. Here you get. So the overvoting part of it is that when they begin to write the results, the numbers no go hard up. You will know that they've already kind of added. So when you say, okay, 500 people accredited, how come APC have 400 votes. PDP have 150. And Labour Party has 200. So when you add all of them together, you know they are still under 1,000 ballot paper. So it's not like over. But when you look at the accreditation and the number, they won't add up. That's why they come about with the overvoting this and that. Is a trick. You usually win election for them or ruin election for others. Usually when you want to do overvoting, you do it for yourself, Abi. You count the vote for yourself. Now, these days, they can also load the result of opposition. When they know that you have the upper hand here, INEC can increase your number to appear like overvoting by violating the law so they can cancel your election. Back in the days when you have to thumbprint too much number for yourself, don't do that much anymore. And that's how the overvoting comes in. So a very simple form is that when they fail to follow the electoral law and they begin to input the numbers themselves, by the time you add them together, they know they make sense. You get that? Because by the time you say, okay, now bring out the voters that use the ballot paper, you realize that accredited voters are 500. The total number of votes is 800. Who are those 300 that use the ballot papers? Because they were never accredited. That is overvoting. You have your 2 minutes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you. I understand perfectly. But I was trying to say that it is the INEC people. It is the INEC that are doing the overvoting, not really by the voters. It is the INEC that is the scam. Okay, I understand. Then, Maiyegun, please, I want to lay a complaint. I'm just more than 50 now, age. You know, I can tell you since I was born till date, Maiyegun, my village, my local government, till now we don't have light. We don't have like at this time of age. I'm from Edo State, from Orion local government to be precise, from Ugboko ward, a ward which this past candidate from APC, Zeyamu, came from the same ward with me. You understand? Even recently, I have to organize my community, people living in diaspora, to go and build a secondary school, renovate a secondary school, be built 40 years ago without renovating. So we have to organize ourselves to go and renovate the secondary school. Now the primary school is falling down. We have no light, we have no road, Benin Abraka Expressway. So just imagine, after 50 years of my age, we still don't have light. My brother, I don't really know where to cry to. So this is the reason why I'm somehow excited to be in this program tonight. I believe so many people will hear my voice tonight that Orion local government still have no light apart from Odubu, where the village from Odubu came from, which is Romere and Onigbe. Apart from that two villages in Orion, then this where they have oil in Obe. My brother, we have two oil locations in Orion. Today we don't have light.
There is no light.
No light. Can you imagine?
You are yourself. So which means since you were born, right?
Yes.
You probably just witnessed. Now, let me ask you, sir, right? Was there kind of like electricity there before something happened that they just didn't give them light anymore? It was never there.
It was never there. It was never there. At the time of Maiyegun, in 1990, there was.
You've never seen electricity in your community ever, even till now, until you guys start coming together.
If till now, still no light, but there is a wire, and pole. Okay, be done by Maiyegun administration, which was 1990. Okay, till now, I heard that when I was already in abroad, because I left Nigeria since 1999. I've been abroad. So at 2000, they said they light the light. You only light for just 2 months, and it went off till today.
So they left the cable.
Today, no light. And why there was that light? It was because of this man who happened to be EDDC chairman, which is Dr. Egarewa. So it happened that after that 2 months, the light was light. So the man have an accident when going to Abuja. He died along the line. So since then, that light went off till today. No light.
Wow.
No light.
With us, and like you said, hopefully this will make a difference. Even if it's just for the sake of the children that are being born in that community. You are over 50 years of age, and you've never witnessed that community with electricity in 2023. So even if for the sake of the children that are being born in that community, we hope this will make a difference. Thank you so much for sharing that with
Thank
us.
you, sir. And thank you, my panelists. I'm really, Mr. Show, thank you very much, bro. Please continue your good work. Yeah.
I've got you here as well. Right. Brilliant. So thank you so much for this. We are kind of having lesser and lesser time. So I'm not going to take anybody in again. Okay. I'm just going to stick here with our people here. And then we probably going to have, a good night afterward. Okay. Now let's share this slot. I've only got about 4. Do I have about 4? Yeah, 4 people, 4 parliamentarians. So Mr. Show, you are going to, I'm going to call on Mido. See, Agono Sita, why do you have to use Mido? Did you do that to disguise? So it's just Mido. Agono, I can't hear you. Let me unmute you. Or maybe you should try and unmute yourself, right?
Meadow is actually my dad's name, so that's the reason I use it.
That's why you put it, right?
Yeah.
Brilliant. So
because that's what is registered on my YouTube anyway.
Brilliant. Well, that's a disguise to some of our people here. They will just be like, "Who is this person?"
No, but
right?
I'll still mention my name.
You tell them that you're Osita. Now I've told them, yeah, that's Osita. See that face there. But we're coming back to him. Anyway, I'm going to go to Dongada. Where are you going? Anyway, Sasho, you are going to take the first shot. Okay. Then after you, I'm going to come back to Kaiben. I saw your comment where you said that I should let you in because you've been like, good to have you, Baba. Okay. So yeah, you are going to go after Sasho. Then after that, I'm going to give Dongada a shot after you. Then me and Osita can wrap up tonight. We've only got about 22 minutes. Help me make it count. 4 of you, okay? 5 minutes each. I'll start with Sasho. Please, over to you.
Maiyegun,
Baba.
Hello. It be like you get 1 or 2 people for your comment section. Because I've seen some accusations in your comment section that I'm an Agbadorian. Out of everything you can accuse me of, you accuse me of being a Tinubu supporter, as in that's the worst insult of all. And for those who don't know me, that are reading the comment, usually have about 3,000, 4,000 watching you. They will run with that and label me as a Tinubu supporter. In fact, on Damage's show, where most of them see me, I've been accused of being an Omo Ali. The thing that they accuse Yoruba people of when you don't support Tinubu. So I don't know where this part.
Yeah, might quickly add something to that one. Sometimes we have all these people who are in a way, uncontrollable, right? But I can imagine what it feels like when people, when you turn left, because you are Yoruba, right? You are accused of being, you are Yoruba. We know that's how Yorubas are doing. Then you turn right? You see your fellow Yoruba who are like also pointing at you and calling you Omoale. Then you are in the middle and like, hello.
You understand? So that particular guy was saying that in the comment section. I hope he finds healing. I hope the obsession with me drops off at some point. But what I came to say, a few things. I came to say, I found out about your show about a month ago, about 6 weeks ago. And I've watched most of your shows since then. I would watch, a few hours here and there, in between, doing stuff at home and all of that. So I just want to say thank you for the wonderful work you do. I appreciate everything you do, and I like your banter. I like your Yorubaness. The infusion of the Nigeria, Kolu and all these things. And I've picked up a lot of your local lingo as well. I quite enjoy it. It's different to every other show that I listen to. Your banter it's off the chart, and that song that you use, that jingle, who is the terrorist? Pantami is the terrorist. I honestly like that song, so things like that I enjoy about your show. And to contribute to what you're discussing tonight,
more easier so that we are all angry. You know what I mean? Like a lot of us are angry. We can kind of a little bit, simmer it.
Of course. I just thought I'd make that clarification so that a lot of people who are seeing my face for the first time won't think, is a Tinubu supporter. I advocated for Peter Obi more than anybody. If you're going to accuse me of anything, maybe you accuse me of being a one Nigerian person. I supported Peter Obi with everything I have. I've been called an Igbo sympathizer on Damage's show. I've been called and I'm looking for acceptance from the Igbos. I said, for what? I didn't marry an Igbo person, so what acceptance am I looking for? Anyway, that's by the by. You can't control, what people say about you. My take about the Niger... Yes, sir. Yeah, go on, Maiyegun.
Sorry about that. Sorry for cutting
you
right.
No,
why you saw those two despicable comments, you should also mind all those good ones too, because there are.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah. I salute the comment section. Some of them, they're familiar with.
Attention to those ones, Dan. Boy. Fire on, Baba. You're short.
Yeah. Okay. So, what I wanted to say about the Niger issue is, I'm not sure if you saw a video of a Yoruba woman who spoke from Niger, and she was speaking about how she's been in Niger for so long. That is where she gets her daily bread. Tinubu shouldn't come and scatter where she's living and all of that. She said something that made me think, what? Whose bidding is Tinubu actually doing? Because the woman said something. She said, if Tinubu scatters Niger or Ecowas scatters Niger tomorrow, and people like that, the Nigerians who live in Niger, if they are to come back home, does Tinubu have any provision for them? Where are they going to be accepted into? She said they will be seen as foreigners. And that's true. If Tinubu is even going to blame ECOWAS to say, what, my hands were tied, my hands were forced, I didn't act alone. It was ECOWAS that went to war, not Nigeria. Tinubu's actions should be showing that he's not in support of this war. I would have expected Tinubu to have been making plans, or Nigeria to be making plans, to bring back every Nigerian that is in Niger before you attack the place. But you're not even making any provision. So that's making me think, who are you actually doing this for? Because if this, was for Nigeria, you will not go there to even injure or kill Nigerians who are there. So at this point, you would have expected, we saw what happened in Sudan. Nigerians were stranded. We saw what happened in Ukraine. So we should have learned from this thing. So at this point, even if you want to, which nobody is supporting, you should be bringing Nigerians back at this point. And this is all pointing to Tinubu going to act for his own selfish interest. This is the problem I have with Nigerian leaders. When you talk about France, their involvement in this Niger issue, you talk about the US, NATO, all these people, we talk about it in the context that they are protecting their people. They are doing whatever they are doing for their people. Even slavery, it was for their people. But when you talk about African leaders, it is for them. Self-aggrandizement. African leaders are so selfish, so myopic that all they think about is themselves, how they enrich their own personal, immediate families. Nothing for Africa, nothing for Nigerians, nothing for Malian people. And this is why I listened to Babangida interview recently, the one that trended. I'm not sure if it's a recent one, but Babangida was saying that coups would only happen when the citizens are not happy. I am not one for coup. I'm old enough to remember the Babangida days and all of that. I don't want coup. I don't want military regime. But please, can we even look back to 1993? From when Babangida took over, and look at it all the way until 1999. How many people were being slaughtered in Nigeria on a daily basis? I don't think it's as much as we have now. People are being pied in Plateau, Benue, or Womasaka. Nobody is arrested. Nobody is tried. No. So what exactly is it that the military would do that would be worse than what we have today? Please get me right. I'm not calling for military. I don't want coup. I don't like military administration. But these civilian charlatans are making it hard to make a case for them. Because it doesn't even make the headlines anymore. The amount of Nigerians we're losing on a daily basis. It doesn't make the headline. People are numb to it. This is the problem I have. And those idiots at the National Assembly, people like Akpabio, who's like a comedian, is like a clown. The chief clown, making everybody laugh. When he said what he said about let the poor breathe, it was in poor taste. Yes, they were discussing something important, how to kick against the 40% electricity tariff. It was a good thing they were discussing. But you were discussing it and joking about it when Nigerians are not smiling. And the other day was saying, some token allowance have been sent to your account and all of that. Now, I remember Bosun Tijani's training. They made that man apologize to them. But you know that when they did all this charade they've done in the last 1 week, there are a lot of young Nigerians who will have tweeted and cursed them and called them morons and called them worse names. Because you're provoking the young people. So when they call you names in 20 years, that same person will not be standing before you. You will not say that person should apologize. Apologize for what? When you are literally provoking the young people, you have no plans. You don't care about their future. Our legislators are some of the highest earners in the world, and you're telling us Nigeria is a poor country. I keep giving this analogy. It's like a father who is telling his children that, okay, things are tight, oh, we can't eat 3 times a day anymore. We have to eat once a day. But the man is still going to buy his NSC, he's still going to buy his Courvoisier, he's still going to buy his whatever he's drinking, Remy Martins. And you're telling the children, we will eat once a day. No, stop buying Remy Martins and start drinking palm wine. Then the children will know that, okay, that is making an effort. But you're not making an effort. You are sending token and prayers into people's accounts, and you're telling the average Nigerian to sacrifice. Please, I know I have only 5 minutes. I would, that's all I've come to say. It's something that annoys me all the time. So how can people hear me speak like this all the time and link me with Tinubu? Now God will punish you now. How can you link me with Tinubu of all people?
See, Baba, people don't understand how especially it's actually art. And when they turn around, right, and they water down your position by saying, are you not one of those who are supporting this and that? They have no idea. And I quite get where you're coming from, right? But thank you very much for sharing.
No problem. It's been a pleasure, brother. You're doing a wonderful job. God bless you.
Stay safe, because we do this every now and then. And every time we have our People's Parliament, people will be like, oh, we should do this again. I know. But yeah, I kind of always have wonderful people who come on, speak on different perspective of what is going on in Nigeria in a way that even you sitting down there will be like, oh my God, this is interesting. You will disagree with some, and you're likely going to agree with the majority of them, like it's always been. So yeah, let's quickly now go straight to, okay, how did I share it there earlier? I think it was going to be Don Gada. You are back, oh, and it is your shot before I go straight to Kaiben. So, how are you, Don Gada?
I'm fine, Mr. Maiyegun. At least I said, let me appear today so that you can see my face.
You can see the face. From the man that you want to call in and say,
So,
quick one.
there is not much time, but let me say this. First of all, let me refer to what First One said yesterday after my call. There was a time I told you that if you could be sharing, you're dividing your program and sharing it so that for the ordinary people to be able to access it. Why I said that is this. If you could remember what he said yesterday, he said that a lot of people in Nigeria lack information. And that was the reason why, but maybe I would say that I did not know the right way to put it to you for you to understand. Because you dispose a lot of information which the public need to listen to. And in Nigeria, not just in Nigeria, in Africa, if you want to deprive a black man anything, put it into writing or put it into a long video, they will never listen to that, So that was why I advised you that time to be able to be dividing the most important part to share so that they could be able to be informed about what is going on, because if actually people are informed, Nigeria will not be at rest at this moment. That there should be unrest in Nigeria because of the killing, the hunger, and all that. Now, for the topic of today, there is something I want to say. I like it when I talk on the video because I'm not afraid of anything anyway, even though I know that anything can happen. I'm not afraid of whatever that is going to happen. I am not. When you talk about military coup, you remember I called yesterday, I said that military coup is not going to happen in Nigeria. Let me tell you the reason. The people who are supposed to do the coup are the Northerners. And they are the ones who are enjoying this the craze in the name of democracy, mostly. You understand? So they cannot take over, they would not even want the military to come in, because if the military comes in, it will give the Easterners, the Southerners access to coup at any given time to take power from them. They will start sharing power left and right. That is the reason why I said there won't be a coup in Nigeria again, because you know what the Northerners do? when there was during a Buhari campaign in 2014, 2015, I was in South Africa. I was being addressed as Boko Haram from South African citizens. And you know, these people can spend a lot of resources to propagate or travel around the world and do whatever they want to do to convince people. Whatever Tinubu is doing today is going to be used against him in the next election by the Northerners. Do you see El-Rufai, Matawale, and all of them that they are just sitting behind the scene watching? They are gathering the information which they are going to use to take power back. And when they take power back, it is going to be Muslim from the north and the hardcore Muslim from the southwest, so that they could be able to achieve whatever plan or agenda they have for Nigeria. You understand? And what is happening in Nigeria, in Niger Republic today, I don't know why people are so surprised about it. Whatever you see that is happening in Niger Republic today is being planned before Tinubu was announced president of Nigeria. Let me tell you, go straight to what I'm trying to say. You know, do you remember the summit they had one time that Tinubu was smiling, hugging the France president, and with a heavy heart and heavy smile, heavy excitement in him? This was the meeting he has been traveling to France having with them because of the coup that has been happening in Africa, and there is no way they could come direct to penetrate because of, you know, every eye will be on them. Now, what can they do? How can they do that? They want to use the big brother of Africa. This big brother of Africa is Nigeria. So how are they going to achieve that? By installing their own puppet, which is Tinubu. So they had this meeting. That is why the first time, even though he's still fighting a legitimacy in court, they had the legitimacy in court. They immediately announced him as the Ecowas chairman, and his first address was he's not going to take coup after coup in Africa. So it was already a planned thing, but they were waiting for the right time to execute it. You understand me? So if you watch, there is no noise from the north, not because they are not going to be affected. I want to tell you this: if this thing actually, if the Easterners were the one that actually have borders with this Niger, you would have seen Northerners larrying behind Tinubu that he should fight that war. That Easterners are fighting his government and all that. You would have seen such thing in the social media. You understand me? But they are happy because they are not happy because it is happening in the northern Nigeria. That is why you could see so many of their leaders coming out on social media saying a lot of things. Even when the terrorists are killing them in hundreds of their thousands, you cannot see such number of leaders condemning them in social media, because the 95% of the leaders from the northern Nigeria are strongly behind the terrorism that is happening in Nigeria. How? These people, when the terrorism is going on, they were able to mine secretly. They were able to do whatever, steal whatever they can steal. They were able to extend their extremists, their religious extremists to the other part of Nigeria. Because when there is unrest in the north, some of them who lack knowledge of what is happening in their villages and cities would move down to the southeast and south. What are they coming to do? They will start establishing more mosques, more Islamic schools, and more. You will start seeing more Islamic whatever around the cities. With time, you know, when they want to do something, they used to take their time. They take a lot of time. It might take them 20 to 50 years, but they will achieve it. With time, you will start seeing Islamic, like a mosque, the way we see churches all over the street of Nigeria. So whatever that is happening in Niger today is already been planned and waiting for the time to execution. You understand? So do we actually have leaders? Do we actually have leaders in Africa? No, we don't. Look at that puppet from Uganda talking about how they have uranium, and some people came to mine it, and he told them no, it is sleeping on the floor. As a leader, what are you doing? What is the purpose of electing you there? Is it not to make use of those resources? Why would you even wait for somebody to come from outside country to contract you to do those things? Can't you use the resources on ground and find researchers within your own continent that will execute those projects and make use of those mineral resources that will employ the citizens and give job to other African nations? That puppet, his son is the military chief of the country, so that is why he's able to be in power for that long. That is why when I called yesterday, I said let the war happen. You know why I said let the war happen? If the war happened, a lot of people who lack education of what is going on in Africa, what is going on in Nigeria, we start asking questions. Why is this fight happening? Now they will tell them that Niger used to make money in their country, send it to the bank in France, and we borrow it with interest, with a heavy interest when they want to use it. You will see some African people rising up. No, this will not happen. That is the reason why I support the war.
Don't gather.
You understand me?
Hmm?
So I let me give other people a chance, because I see there is no time, because I have a lot more and more and more to say.
Always have
there is no much time, you know.
Thank you very much for the ones you have been able to deliver tonight. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Next person, and then to the last person, so we can call it a night.
Thank you very much, Mr. Maiyegun.
That said, Don Gada there is always downloaded. It never stops talking. There's so much to say, and I'm glad that he normally shared them with me or with all of us on MaiyegunsDiary Politico. Let's go straight to Sir Kevin. See, I don't understand. You are like in a dark place that we could barely see your face, but somehow I still got you admitted in. That's strange. Can you hear me, by the way? Sorry, you might need to unmute yourself. Let me see if I can do that for you. Hang on. Or have you done it?
Yes.
Oh,
Sorry,
you
I
have.
can hear you.
Yes,
I
so
can hear you.
now as well. Like in the car, maybe you should put the light on like that. But there you go.
Like I sent you a message. Did you see it? I'm actually going home. I'm in the bus going home. So
Also, okay, Baba. Well,
yeah.
Let's use the few minutes we have you here now, so that we can at least it will not be for
No, don't worry. I just like your broadcast and like whatever you're doing, you know. And I just say I appreciate everything you'll be doing.
Thanks, man.
You know, that's all.
So you just tweeted to say, Maiyegun, I love what you are doing.
Yes.
I would like to be like you when I grow up.
Don't worry.
Everything that your candor in there. I was like, wow, I wouldn't just ignore this person, but thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Baba. And
You're welcome. Yeah.
Drive home, okay. Safe journey. So meanwhile, maybe the next time when I have my guy around, it won't be on the bus home. Sometimes it can be like that. If you want to know those who love MaiyegunsDiary Politico that much, you are seeing some of them, okay? I've had someone that loves MaiyegunsDiary Politico so much, that they were watching Maiyegun's live in their car and they had a crash. Imagine that. So she called in to tell me here, and I was like, no, don't do that, ma. I mean, like, please don't do that. I was like, Maiyegun, you won't believe it. My customer sorted because I lost control. I was watching Maiyegun. I'm glad you are alive to tell this story, but don't do that again. And she said, yes. I've had people who are going to be listening to they won't watch the video, just the audio, just me talking at the corner, and they are walking. So I hope one day I'll be able to say thank you to all of you personally. I know a lot of you want to see me personally as well. I say, Maiyegun, well done. I want to say thank you to a lot of you too, in person. I hope you have a chance. One name.
Yeah, one day the author, one day the number.
One name.
Oshishi Poranko.
How are you, sir?
It's good to have you, and bless you for the good work you've done, you know.
Thanks a lot for being there.
I want people to realize something here. If Dr. Damages can come to your show and tell you that I watch you, you should know that a lot of people are watching you.
I believe.
And one thing that is synonymous to you is that you don't choose side. And even if you have to choose side, you've always chosen the truth.
That's right.
We know no one is perfect in life.
No.
But in association, we could be perfect because we get wiser and stronger when people of like minds come together. You know, so I will always say to you, thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much, Osita.
Yeah. Now, my brother, African Wahala, I've always loved him. I love his stance whenever it comes to this program. I watch him in Dr. Damages sometimes too, though I don't contribute that much over there. The last four speaker, yeah, himself too, a very great contributor there.
That's right.
But there's something I just want to say. It's not as if we looked in the street of Niger, people were jumping up that they had military rule. And it's not as if people are agitating towards that end right now in Nigeria. But the reason you are saying those things is the failure of what is called democracy. But is it truly democracy all over the world? It's not even here in the United States. But I think the biggest problem that is facing us, that is staring us, it is what is called capitalism. Capitalism brought in class war. Capitalism brought in greed. Capitalism doesn't improve any society. But the only thing that happened in the case of the Western world is who are the identity? Who can you identify that is operating that capitalism? So that is the reason it looks as if it is fair. This particular thing I'm talking about was shared by a Yale University professor. And when the man gave all his speech, I watched the speech, I went through it, and I begin to digest what he was saying. He said, if truly, by the end of the Second World War, everybody knows that the Chinese were the poorest in the world. They ran hectare-scatter. They ran different places for assistance. If you go to this one will say, oh, I participated in the war. I'm a casualty. I'm a victim. I don't have your time. Until one of their professors in Oxford University, one Chinese professor, and the man said to them, with your population of about over 1 billion people, why don't you just produce for yourself? Produce within yourself, trade within yourself. And the man predicted it and the man got it right. That was the man's template they used, this particular communist regime. But they call them communism, but they are not totally communism. They mix both the capitalism and the communism together to get to where they are. But it's because we in Africa, we do not know our identity. They stole our identity. We do not know if we are practicing democracy. We do not know, because in Africa it is written, it doesn't work. Look at the explanation where you give as regards to overvoting. They don't do it here. They could do any magic, but they don't do it here. But we do our own on the broad daylight, written on the pages of newspaper, how they did it. We embraced, when we started, the parliamentary system of government would have been far better for Nigeria. But we left the parliament. Yes, we left parliamentary system of government. Who did that? The person that did that, everybody knew, and they were saying that was one of the things that consumed him. That criminal they call General Murtala Mohammed, because he moved towards the American kind of version of governance.
Government, they called it.
So when he moved, that was the total destruction, the total collapse of that country called Nigeria. So when you look at it, we don't have an identity in Africa. Nobody's jubilating because of militaries coming in. No. But the truth is, has the civilian rule failed us? Yes, it has. It has not, it's not even that it failed us, it disappointed mankind. So that is where we got ourselves, that's where we get ourselves into. You ask yourself, what kind of life is our leaders actually living? Their world. Their world is just copy and paste. I wouldn't tell you a lie. If my mom cannot be ambitious as I am right now, my mom, at her age, she's not going to be. And why do you think that go all over Africa, the Western world will never trust any candidate who is young, a younger candidate? They will never. Because you know why? My brother, he's ready to take his chances. If you tell him he's going to die, he will tell you, I am willing to take my chances. So when they take that their chances, you will find out that the next thing they will say is corruption. If they don't know how to say it, like what is happening to the guy in Angola, they tell you that human rights, human rights, human rights. And I love the question that man always put to them. Who is going to tell me about human rights, you or me? So this is where we find ourselves. You ask yourself another question. When you cannot make decision on how to sell whatever you have, like Dongaga said, that what is he doing? That the president of Uganda, they came to him and said, oh, sell us your uranium. And I said, oh, I will not give it to you. His rather sleeps there. But he's better than the one. That man is far better than the one that has not told Nigeria how much we are going to make, how much they are going to sell this gas to Europe. They're already laying pipes. Who is better? So this is things that
Osita, people were like, what's the difference between civilian coup and military coup?
And military.
Are they not all against the people's wishes?
Wishes?
Not always like the subversion of people's wills. Like if we have to put it in that context, like what's the difference to what happened in Nigeria and what is going on in Niger? The difference that you can say is that in Niger, they have the support of their people. In Nigeria, Tinubu is battling with illegitimacy. Like, what's the difference between civilian coup and military coup in the first place anyway?
Yeah. One thing that I know for sure, you cannot eat your cake and have it.
No, you can't.
You can't. Anybody that thinks he can't do it, let him try. You see, this government in Nigeria, this regime, even if the courts don't take him out, he will face troubles. Trouble and troubles every day. I once said on this program, I said that it is not about going to war or conquering an entity, but it's how you share the spoils of war. He cannot satisfy the other criminals that ganged up together to steal the people's mandate or the people's will. He can't satisfy all of them together. If he has to be there for 4 years, I am telling you, every 4 months, they will be removing ministers. Every 4 months, mark my word. Because he is got to satisfy all the criminals. So this is where we are. But the biggest lesson from what is happening in Africa right now, is it that are we going to continually, like I have to make mention, Rufai is one of the best presenters I've seen on national TV in Nigeria. But I was surprised when he was making a comment. And he was trying to say, oh, anyway, maybe he's trying to cajole them to go to the war. But he was saying, oh, when they enter, that the Americans, the Western world will give them air coverage, then they can move in. So, but I just thought to myself that, oh, probably he is just trying to push them to go to the war. Like one caller said here today, one parliamentarian said today, he said, one of the biggest problems that Nigeria has, and truly, is the press. Okay, that is Dr. Damage. The mainstream media. I tell people, before you become a journalist, you should know what the baggage is that comes with being a journalist. That when you say truth, you are fighting corruption. And corruption will have to fight you back, will have to bite you.
That's right.
It looks, you are just like the same soldier that signed up to be a military man. You signed up your life for it. And that is the same thing that the journalist is. But the journalists in Nigeria, they are just like the pastors in Nigeria that will wear suits and stay in the news. They want to look like what's this guy's name in CNN? Those guys in CNN. Anderson Cooper. Even one of them has a program in Nigeria that he calls his name. Anderson Cooper 360 degree. He himself, he put his name 360 degree. But yet, Anderson Cooper most times says the truth here. He dares nobody, put him to jail. Everybody saw how Trump dealt with most of them that were coming to the White House during that period. And they didn't back down.
They didn't.
But Nigerian press, they don't want to be even given a slap. They don't want to even be...
I know. Osita, our time has sort of passed. It's worth it, oh. Sure you get it's actually every minute of it. But there's always going to be a time we have to wrap it up, and this is that time. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, my brother.
As usual, right? For being part
of this.
All
right, God bless you, my brother.
Stay safe and all the best. All right?
All right.
That's Osita, and our time is so far spent and gone. And at this stage, I'm just going to be like, you know what? Good night, everyone. We've had an interesting evening. If you joined us at midway, right? Seriously, you should watch it from the beginning again, okay? Wonderful contributions from wonderful people from all over the world, how they feel towards what is going on in Nigeria, including in Niger, right? I don't want to tell you everything. I won't give you the highlight. You watch it, all right? Thank you for spending your evening with me, every one of us, okay? I'm going to see you some other time. Now, until then, if you have been here this long, don't leave without liking the broadcast, okay? I will see you again. Good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun. àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. MaiyegunDiary Naibi #1. bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. MaiyegunDiary Naibi #1. ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. MaiyegunDiary Naibi #1. MaiyegunDiary Diary Politico. MaiyegunDiary Naibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. MaiyegunDiary Naibi #1. ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. MaiyegunDiary Naibi #1. àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dódòdó. MaiyegunDiary Naibi #1. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Maiyegun máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Maiyegun máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Maiyegun máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọ́n.